subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Xiao Longnu. Then Brother Subai, what should I do? Subai, it's very simple. Wait until you arrive in Xianyang City and meet Guojing from your world. Subai, can't we just let Guojing in the group go to your world? When the two Guojings meet, Guojing from your world will not disbelieve what his younger self says. Xiao Longnu. Yes. As expected of Brother Subai, he is so smart. Xiao Longnu. Brother Guojing, I will trouble you again then. Guojing. It's okay, I also want to see what I will be like in the future. Regarding Subai's proposal, Xiao Longnu and Guojing both had no objections and could even be said to be very excited. Xiao Longnu was excited because she could get the support of Guojing in her world. Guojing was excited because he could see what his future self would look like. Although he will no longer be the person in Xiao Longnu's world, but he was still curious about what would happen if he didn't join the chat group. Garp, by the way, since the time travel function has been turned on now, how about we, the members of the chat group, have a party? Garp, everyone can meet offline and know what everyone looks like. Oga Tatsumi, Mr. Garp, this is a good suggestion. At present, except for the group leader, I don't know what you look like. Butterfly Ninja, yes, after all, only Brother Subai is broadcast live, so we know what he looks like. Butterfly Ninja, as for the others, they haven't started live streaming yet. Guojing, how about we all do a live broadcast to introduce ourselves? Xiao Longnu, no, it's too stupid. Diya, indeed, I agree with Xiao Longnu. It's a bit too stupid to start a live broadcast just to introduce myself. Diya, anyway, we can gather offline, so there is no need to broadcast live. Subai, offline gatherings are fine. I happen to have 2 competitions in half a month. The offline gatherings will be after I finish the competitions. Subai, this way I can also celebrate my victory. Duan Mayan, the leader of the group has a competition? Is it a competition with other gods? Subai, well, one, Shinan, Alu, Lu Paiqiang, and Xiao Dongjia don't know, but the others do. Subai, that's the fat purple cat that I beat up last time. Oga Tatsumi, so it's him. So he's not convinced that you defeated him before, Lord Leader, and wants to challenge you again? Oga Tatsumi, but since the leader has already defeated him once, there is no problem in defeating him again. As Oga Tatsumi was the first person to rule Yaishur Demon High School, many people usually challenged him. However, as long as he has defeated an opponent, he will never be his opponent again. Since even he can do it, there is no reason why the leader of the group, as a god, can't do it. Garp, but why are there 2 competitions? There is one competition between the group leader and the fat purple cat. Are there other competitions? Subai, actually, this competition is not between me and him. Subai, of these 2 competitions, one is to test our food. The other is to test the strength of our strong men. Young master, let's not talk about the other competition. Can't the master of the gourmet group defeat the other party? Little boss, once the leader of the group shows off his divine cooking skills, who else can surpass him in terms of delicious food? Regarding Subai's victory in the food competition, Xiao Dongjia can be said to be more confident than Subai herself. As a professional chef, he knows very well how powerful god-level cooking skills are, especially after he himself acquired god-level cooking skills. It is no exaggeration to say that after obtaining god-level cooking skills, his cooking skills have improved many times compared to before. 10 times? 100 times? And this is just the weakest version of god-level cooking skills. Group leader, that person has a complete version of god-level cooking skills. Such a powerful little chef can't think of any reason why the group leader would lose. Aru, and the group leader can also use the ingredients I uploaded, and combined with the group leader's god-level cooking skills, the deliciousness of the food will be improved by several levels. There are also ingredients for sale in the mall, but Aru took a look and found that these ingredients were not as good as the ingredients he uploaded. After all, in the world he lives in, he dare not say anything about other aspects, but he is also very confident in the ingredients. Maybe after the mall is upgraded, more powerful ingredients will appear. But at least for now, the ingredients he uploaded are the best. What's more, after he goes to the food world, the ingredients in the food world are definitely comparable to those in high-end shopping malls. As a huge foodie, Alun naturally also acquired god-level cooking skills. He didn't know how to cook before. He could only roast the ingredients in the simplest way. But even so, because of the deliciousness of the ingredients themselves, even if they're simply grilled, they are extremely delicious. After obtaining the god-level cooking skills, Aru used the god-level cooking skills to make a delicious meal using the ingredients. As a result, the activity of his gourmet cells directly increased a lot. In his world, eating delicious food can increase the activity of gourmet cells. And with the blessing of god-level cooking skills, the effect becomes even more powerful. This also shows how powerful the god-level cooking skills combined with the ingredients of his world can be. So just like the little boss, Ahu couldn't think of any reason why the group leader would lose. It might be a little unstable if you use ordinary ingredients. That uses ingredients from his world, paired with the complete version of the group leader's god-level cooking skills. Not to mention 100% victory, that would be a bit too arrogant. At least there's a 99.999% chance of winning. It's a certainty. Oga Tatsumi. It's a pity that our strength is not enough. Otherwise, we really want to fight those strong men in the world of the leader. Garp, Oga, I think it's better for us to have some self-awareness. With our strength, we are simply not qualified to participate in a competition among the strong. Subai, indeed, you don't have this strength now. Subai, you need to be at least 7 stars strong to participate, and 7 stars are still the weakest. They are basically in the first round. Garp, 7-star strength. I don't know when I will have 7-star level strength. The 7-star level strength is the explosive star level strength. Garp yearned for this level of strength. With the help of god-level breathing techniques, his strength is improving all the time. But the speed is no longer as fast as before. Garp also knew that this was because his strength had improved and the god-level breathing method version was the weakest. So if it's not as good as it was at the beginning, if you want to use the current god-level breathing method to reach the 7-star level, you can do it. It's just that he has to live longer. But Garp didn't panic because he knew that he would wait until the mall level increased. The group leader will definitely upload more advanced god-level breathing techniques. Therefore, he has to work hard to accumulate points now, so that when a more advanced god-level breathing method appears but cannot afford it, it will be embarrassing. Of course, only Garp had such an idea. As for the other group members, either they have not even obtained the god-level breathing method, or the current version of the god-level breathing method can significantly improve their strength. So they're not in a hurry. After receiving guidance from Guijing and Subai, Xiao Longnu set out for Xianyang City. Xianyang City is on the border of the Song dynasty, a little far away from where Xiao Longnu is at this time. It takes some time to get there. As for everyone else, they all have their own things to do. Is this the power of God's transformation? No wonder I was never Trunks' opponent before. In an open space, Vegeta felt his own power. Even as arrogant as he was, his expression at this time was very excited. At this time, Vegeta's hair and pupils turned red. There was a fiery red color all around, shrouded in flames like burning flames. Super Saiyan God. At this time, Vegeta is in the state of Super Saiyan God. Next to him, Son Goku and Son Gohan are also in Super Saiyan God status. After Trunks' teachings, the three finally mastered the most basic transformation of God. Among them, 797 Son Gohan was the first to master it, and he is worthy of his powerful talent. Son Goku and Vegeta both took about the same amount of time to master it. It was precisely because they had mastered the Super Sailor God transformation that they knew why Vegeta fought with Trunks before. Vegeta is no match for Trunks. He can't even make Trunks move a step. It turns out that there is such a big gap between divine transformation and ordinary transformation. After mastering the Super Sailor God transformation, Vegeta's eyes looked at Trunks, full of eagerness to try. He wants to fight Trunks again. The reason why he was no match for Trunks before was because Trunks had mastered the Super Saiyan God transformation. He suffered the disadvantage of not being as powerful as Trunks in his transformation. But now he has also mastered the transformation of God. He doesn't believe that he is not Trunks' opponent yet. Previously, he, the father, had lost face in front of Trunks, the son. And now he wants to get this face back. He wants to revive his glory as a father. In other words, the weather is cleared up, the rain has stopped, and Vegeta feels like he is doing well again. Trunks, let's compete again. This time I have also mastered the transformation of God. I will not lose to you again. What a proud person Vegeta is. He doesn't want to admit defeat to anyone. Even Kakarot was unwilling to lose to him. What's more, it's his own son. Why would you feel happy when you see your son doing well? This is what happens to ordinary fathers. It will never happen to him. In Vegeta's opinion, being a father is not as good as being a son. Isn't it too shameful? Of course, forget it for a son with a strong talent like Gohan. Son Gohan's talent. Even Vegeta was shocked when he saw it. Therefore, after mastering the Super Saiyan God transformation, the first thing Vegeta wanted to do was to regain his glory as a father. Trunks looked at his father helplessly. He really wanted to tell his father that the divine transformation he had mastered was just the most basic divine transformation. Even to him, it's just the norm. There's a stronger divine transformation above. But Trunks then thought again. Instead of talking about it, why not let his father experience it for himself? Anyway, according to Master Su Bai's plan, after his father, Uncle Goku, and Brother Gohan mastered the Super Saiyan God transformation, the next step is for them to master a stronger divine transformation. Chapter 63. You have mastered the gesture of law of cause and effect, pointing out that someone is defeated. According to Trunks' idea, just by talking, he might not be able to let his father know what a stronger divine transformation is like. Therefore, it is better to let your father experience it for himself. In this way, the other party can work harder to master the stronger divine transformation in the future. Just like how he showed the power of God's transformation to his father before. Isn't the effect very good? So this time, it's better to use the same method. For some reason, Trunks suddenly discovered that seeing his father deflated made him feel happy. Does he like to see his father eating? No way. In that case, please ask Dad for advice. Trunks said to his father. Seeing this scene, Imbai couldn't help but smile. Good guy. It seems that Trunks has learned bad things. However, this is fine, but the effect of using it is definitely not as good as using it. Trunks directly showed his father, as well as Son Goku and Son Gohan, the power of Super Blue transformation. 100 words are more effective than what he said. As for whether Trunks will use Super Blue to transform, the answer is yes. On the one hand, Trunks was originally going to show Vegeta and the others the power of Super Blue transformation. On the other hand, Vegeta actually said something right. After mastering the same transformation, Vegeta is stronger than Trunks. Therefore, if Trunks wants to conquer Vegeta, he must use a stronger transformation. Seeing Vegeta going against Trunks again, Son Goku and Son Gohan continued to watch the fun. Father, like son, Vegeta couldn't see it, but they could still see it as bystanders. Since Trunks did not refuse Vegeta's challenge again, that shows that he must have his own confidence. Although I don't know what this confidence is it stronger strength or stronger transformation? But at least one thing is certain, that is, this time Vegeta wants to regain his glory. There is a high probability that he will fail. Trunks looked at Vegeta, who didn't turn super blue as soon as he came up, because he's also very curious about how strong his father will be after becoming a Super Sailor God. How far is there for myself? You take action first. Vegeta looked at Trunks and sneered. After gaining greater strength, Vegeta once again showed his soaring nature as Saiyan. There's nothing you can do if you're not strong enough, but once you become stronger, go wild. Not only Vegeta will do this, but Son Goku and Son Gohan will also do this. This is why Su Bai values Trunks more. In terms of strength, when Vegeta and Son Goku grow up, Trunks is indeed no match for them. But it's easy to improve your strength. But personality change is not that easy. Su Bai can quickly improve Trunks' strength. But he couldn't make Son Goku and Vegeta change their easygoing personalities. Therefore, he naturally chose the only scion who never wandered, Big Trunks. Seeing that his father asked him to make the first move, Trunks did not refuse, but nodded in agreement. Then, he quickly rushed towards his father, swung his fist, and hit him. If it were the previous Vegeta, he wouldn't be able to block Trunks' attack at all, and he wouldn't even be able to react. But now, Vegeta has become a Super Sailor God, even more powerful than Trunks. Therefore, Trunks' punch was no longer a threat in his eyes. Vegeta stretched out his left hand and took Trunks' fist in his. With his right hand, he punched Trunks in the face, and at the same time he released his left hand, causing Trunks to be knocked away. Generally speaking, when you see your opponent being knocked away by you, you should pursue the victory and continue to attack. But Vegeta was full of confidence at this time, and his true nature was brought into full play. Therefore, he did not pursue the victory, but waited for Trunks to stand up. Continue. Your strength should be more than this. Trunks dusted himself off and continued to attack Vegeta. However, all his attacks were blocked by Vegeta. On the other hand, Trunks can hardly resist Vegeta's attacks every time, or even cannot resist them at all. Weird, Trunks should have the strength to defeat Vegeta. Otherwise, he wouldn't accept Vegeta's challenge. But now, what is the situation? Son Goku, who was watching the battle on the sidelines, looked at Trunks being suppressed by Vegeta with a look of confusion on his face. The development of this matter seems to be a little different from what he thought. In his opinion, if Trunks would accept Vegeta's challenge, he must have some confidence. And Trunks' confidence will allow him to defeat his father again. But that was not the case. It was Trunks who was suppressed by Vegeta. Is it possible that Trunks has no confidence? He just wanted to see his father's strength after becoming a Super Saiyan God. So he agreed to his father's challenge? Dad, I think Trunks must have more strength that he hasn't shown yet. Son Gohan, on the side, held a different view. You didn't notice, although Trunks has been suppressed by Uncle Vegeta. But neither he nor Mr. Subai is panicking at all. It's okay if Trunks doesn't panic. After all, the opponent is his father, so he won't be too harsh on him. But he is Master Subai's Supreme Kai. As gods of destruction, Master Subai will definitely be angry when he sees his Supreme Kai being suppressed. But Mr. Subai is not angry at all, which means that Trunks must have greater strength that he has not yet shown. Son Gohan is indeed a scholar who can become a scholar without practicing. It can be said that he is both wise and brave. His analysis made Son Goku feel very reasonable. And Dad, did you see the tail behind Trunks? When I died, Trunks didn't have a tail. But now he has a tail. It is obvious that this tail did not appear for no reason. It must be Master Subai who asked him to grow this tail. Why did Master Subai let Trunks grow this tail? It can't be for the sake of being handsome. It must be to make Trunks stronger. So, although it seems like Trunks is being suppressed by Uncle Vegeta, in fact, Trunks isn't even serious yet. Son Gohan looked at Trunks with great anticipation, wanting to see Trunks' stronger strength. Son Goku on the side is naturally the same. He was even thinking about whether he should grow a tail like Trunks. At this time, under Vegeta's fierce oppression, Trunks was completely at a disadvantage. Under the same transformation, Vegeta is indeed much stronger than Trunks. But it's no wonder. After all, Vegeta has practiced for so many more years than Trunks. And Trunks is not a genius like Son Gohan and Broly. After repelling Trunks again, Vegeta had a crazy smile on his face. He felt that he had completely regained his glory as a father. As expected of you, Dad, after mastering the transformation of God, he became so strong. Trunks stood up, moved his body, and said to his father, sure enough, under the same transformation situation, he would not be his father's opponent. It seems that in the years since his death, my father has been cultivating very hard in the underworld. Of course, Trunks, you just transformed into something stronger than me before, so I won't be your opponent. But now, I have mastered the same transformation as you. You will not be my opponent. As Vegeta spoke, he raised his right thumb and pointed at himself, wanting to use this gesture to declare his strength. However, after Subai saw this gesture, He couldn't help but mourn for Vegeta, because this gesture is the very famous cheating gesture. As long as there is a single warrior who has made this deflated gesture, there will be no one who will not take advantage of it. From Piccolo at the beginning, to Son Goku, Raditz, Vegeta, Frieza, and so on. As long as they make this deflated gesture, they will soon be deflated. Currently, the only person who can control this deflating gesture is the combined warrior Vegito. Only his extremely powerful strength can control this deflating gesture. And now, Vegeta makes his signature eating gesture. Soon, he will turn into a fast-moving Vegeta. You have observed Vegeta's gesture of eating, and you feel that this gesture is a causal gesture, which is very powerful. In a flash of inspiration, you understood how to use this law of cause and effect gesture correctly and improved it to become a magical skill against the enemy. You have mastered the hand gesture of the law of cause and effect, pointing out that so and so is defeated. Whoever you point to will be deflated. Whoever you point to will be deflated next. The situation of occupying the building depends on the strength of both parties. Subai didn't expect that he just saw Vegeta making a defiant gesture. His incredible understanding came into play again, and he actually improved this deflating gesture. Turn it into a causal gesture. Whoever you point at will be defeated. As long as you point at someone, the person will be defeated next. Although the situation of defeat depends on the strength of both parties. But even for an existence many times stronger than yourself, this move is still useful to the opponent. It's just that the other party's frustration is not that strong. Maybe it's just a staggering step, or maybe it's like you have an itch and you want to scratch it. But you must know that a battle between strong men may only take a moment to determine the winner. Maybe the opponent's defeat is the key to turning defeat into victory. As for those whose strength is similar to his own, or even weaker than his own, let alone that, Vegeta's next fate will be their fate. All I can say is that it is indeed a causal gesture. Even if you use this technique to deal with Whis, or even Grand Priest and Zeno, it will be effective. Of course, it is another matter if the effect is not obvious. But it can have an effect on these top bosses. It is worthy of the 3 words law of cause and effect. If only he could strengthen this move later. If strengthened to the highest level, can we ignore the strength gap between the 2 sides and defeat them no matter who the opponent is? I don't know if this is possible, but I can look forward to it. This move is almost the same as catching a sword with bare hands. The difference is that 100% taking the sword with nothing is the law of causality at full level. Regardless of no matter how strong the opponent is, he can control him, and the effect is the same as for other weak opponents. But now this move refers to someone being defeated. It is just a primary law of cause and effect. It will be effective no matter how strong the opponent is. But the greater the gap in strength between the 2 sides, the less obvious the effect will be. When can I upgrade to the full level of law of causality? I will be simply invincible. But even if it is the primary law of cause and effect, this move is also a magical skill among magical skills. Subai even wanted to try it if he used this move on Vegeta. Then Trunks can easily defeat him even if he doesn't turn into Super Blue. Wrong. Even an ordinary person can defeat Vegeta. After all, the strength gap between him and Vegeta is too big. Once he uses this move, Vegeta will not be able to eat anything. Even Satan can defeat him. However, this move cannot be weakened by using Heaven-Defying Comprehension. After all, it is a magical skill based on the law of cause and effect. Therefore, he cannot weaken it to the weakest version and then upload it to the mall to gain points, good money. With this move, my strength has been improved in disguise. Although this move is not to actively improve one's own strength. But after mastering this move, his strength was also improved in disguise. After all, after using this move, the opponent will be defeated, which is equivalent to weakening the opponent's strength. Since the opponent's strength has been weakened, isn't it a disguised form of strengthening one's own strength? However, there are not many opportunities for him to use this move. After he obtains the Scion bloodline, with the Super 5 transformations he masters, he can suddenly become a top powerhouse among the gods of destruction. It is estimated that only Beerus will be his opponent. So this trick of his can only be used on Beerus. As for Whis, Grand Priest, Zeno, with his current strength, it would be useless to use it against them. He would still be unable to defeat them. And this is a move to seek death. So this move really doesn't have much use. But if this move can really be strengthened and become the law of causality at full level, then this move is so useful. It can be called the most powerful magical skill he has mastered. However, this is all for later. At this time, after making a shrinking gesture, Vegeta planned to defeat Trunks and end the battle. Now that his glory as a father has been restored, there is no need to continue to bully his son. It's time to end this battle. Coincidentally, Trunks thought so too. He has already seen his father's strength after becoming a Super Sailor God. So next, it is time to end this battle. Next, he will let his father, Uncle Goku, and Brother Gohan watch the battle. What is a stronger divine transformation than the Super Saiyan God transformation? Chapter 64. I can't beat you even with water, but I still have to fight you with all my strength? Wanting to end the fight, Vegeta prepares to attack Trunks again. But just as he rushed toward Trunks, something unexpected happened. Dad, let me show you the transformation of a god that is more powerful than a Super Sailor God. Trunks said, roaring, and a stronger aura than before burst out from him. Even Vegeta, who was charging towards him, had to stop and put his hands in front of him to resist Trunks' strong momentum. What? Vegeta looked at Trunks while resisting Trunks' momentum. He was shocked to see that Trunks had undergone tremendous changes at this time. His hair stood up high, as if he had turned into a Super Saiyan. But the difference is that Trunks' hair and pupils are blue at this time. And beside him, there was also blue flames shrouding him. If you look at it from the outside, Trunks turned into Super Saiyan and then changed color from golden to blue. But if you feel Trunks' aura at this time, you will know that this is not just a simple change of color. Trunks at this time is not on the same level as before. He is many times more powerful than before. How is this possible? Vegeta couldn't believe his eyes. He really couldn't believe that Trunks didn't show his true strength in the previous battle. And what did Trunks just say? Is this a transformation of God that is even more powerful than the Super Saiyan God transformation? On top of Super Saiyan God, there is actually a more powerful transformation of God. Is this the strength of Trunks? A transformation stronger than that of a Super Sailor God. Even Son Goku and Son Gohan, who were watching the battle, had shocked expressions on their faces after seeing Trunks turn into Super Blue. Although they had speculated before, Trunks still had confidence. Maybe it was stronger strength. Maybe it was a stronger transformation. But after seeing Trunks really show off a stronger divine transformation, they couldn't help but be shocked. On top of the Super Sailor God, there is an even more powerful transformation of God. The transformation they have mastered into the Super Saiyan God is just the beginning. Dad, this is the transformation of God, which is more powerful than the transformation of Super Sailor God. 700. Master Subai calls it Super Blue Transformation. After turning into Super Blue, Trunks looked at his father and said calmly. From a moment he turned Super Blue, the winner of this competition was already decided. Dad, you will never be your opponent. Next, he must let his father know the power of Super Blue Transformation, so that he can master the Super Blue Transformation obediently in the future. Super Blue Transformation, a transformation stronger than the true God at this time. Vegeta, looking at Trunks who turned Super Blue, had no intention of continuing to fight, because he knew that he would never be a match for his son who turned into Super Blue. If you continue to fight, the situation will become the same as before. Trunks can defeat him without moving a single step. Originally, he thought that after mastering the Super Saiyan God transformation, he could regain his father's glory. But I didn't expect that he turned out to be a clown. My son, in the previous battle, did not show his true strength at all. Since you have a stronger divine transformation, why didn't you take it out before? Vegeta looked at Trunks and said very unhappy. He can tolerate failure, but he cannot tolerate his opponents looking down on him. Trunks didn't show his true strength before. which means that he doesn't take his father seriously at all. Otherwise, why not use stronger strength to deal with him? I said, Vegeta. At this time, Subai came over, looked at Vegeta, and said, you couldn't even beat Trunks before he turned into Super Blue, so why would he use a stronger transformation to deal with you? You think Trunks is looking down on you, but have you ever thought about whether this is necessary? And this time, if he doesn't use Super Blue to transform, he won't be your opponent. Then he took it out, didn't he? So what's wrong with you? It's not surprising that Vegeta was unhappy with his opponent for letting him go. Vegeta, in the main time and space, originally fought Son Goku after being demonized. Son Goku already knows how to transform into Super 3, but he still uses Super 2 to fight Vegeta. After Vegeta died, he saw Son Goku transforming into a Super 3 Ki in the underworld and knew that when he fought with him before, Son Goku had always been in trouble. So when he returns to the world and Son Goku seeks to merge with him, he will be very unhappy. Because he felt that Son Goku looked down on him at that time, he did not use the Super 3 transformation. The situation this time is essentially similar to that of the main space-time. But there is one big difference. That is Son Goku and Vegeta from the main time in space. The two of them had a tie. Son Goku really let go of Vegeta and did not come up with a stronger Super 3 transformation. But the result of this battle was that neither of them could do anything to the other, and it ended in a draw. This is why in some Scumlets mods, Son Goku will taunt Vegeta and can only fight him to a draw. But this time is different. You must know that when Trunks and Vegeta fought before, it didn't end in a draw. But Trunks completely crushes Vegeta. If it's a tie, then Vegeta can really be upset. After all, letting go is just a tie with him. Since you have stronger strength, take it out and give him a good time. He can accept failure, but he cannot accept that his opponent is obviously stronger than him, but insists on letting go, making him feel that his strength is about the same as the opponent. But the problem is, Trunks has already crushed Vegeta before. Then why do you need to come up with a stronger Super Blue transformation? Even Trunks can't beat him. Do you still want Trunks to show more strength? Why? What's there to be unhappy about? If Trunks had a tie with Vegeta because of the water leak, it's okay for Vegeta to be unhappy. But Trunks can crush Vegeta even if the water is released. So what else is Vegeta unhappy about? Why? When the opponent can't beat him no matter how hard he tries, do you want the other party to show stronger strength? This makes absolutely no sense. So, after hearing Subai's words, Vegeta fell silent. Originally, he was really unhappy that Trunks had let him off before and didn't come up with a stronger Super Blue transformation. But after hearing what Subai said, he suddenly realized that it seemed to make sense. He couldn't even defeat his son who was trying to escape and was directly crushed and beaten by the opponent. It seems that he is indeed not qualified to ask his son to show stronger strength. If the previous battle was a draw between father and son, that was after he knew that Trunks had a stronger power that he had yet to use. He will definitely be very upset. There are obviously stronger players who could defeat him, but they still have to fight to a draw with him. What's the meaning? Are you looking down on him? Are you entertaining him? Are you playing with him? But Trunks did let off steam before, but he still easily crushed him. It'll be fine. It can only be said that his strength is not worthy of allowing Trunks to show stronger strength. As Master Subai said, after he mastered the Super Sailor God transformation this time, Trunks would not be able to defeat him unless he showed stronger strength. Then he took out a stronger transformation. So, Dad, do you want to see my current strength? Trunks looked at his father and said, if it's not necessary, he won't do it. But if his father insisted on being deflated, there was nothing he could do. After all, as a son, he still has to listen to his father's words. Come on, let me see how powerful this stronger divine transformation is. It seems that the pinch gesture activates the law of cause and effect, and Vegeta will be unhappy if he doesn't pinch. He still chose to let Trunks attack him. Trunks didn't do anything cruel. He just stepped in front of Vegeta and punched Vegeta away. Vegeta fell to the ground and fainted, only to wake up after a while. This causal gesture is really powerful. Obviously, Trunks can do it without having to do anything, but just because Vegeta made the gesture of eating, he has to eat it. Subai looked at Vegeta, who was beaten away and had to sigh at the power of the deflate gesture. This law of cause and effect really makes no sense. If it were anyone else, after feeling the power of Super Blue, Trunks wouldn't need to take action anymore. Because even if you don't take action, you can tell how strong Trunks is now just by sensing the ki on Trunks' body. But because Vegeta had made a deflate gesture before, when the law of cause and effect was activated, he had to deflate. Then, he was really deflated. After seeing the power of the law of cause and effect gestures, Subai became more optimistic about the failure of the hand gestures of the law of cause and effect that he had just mastered. When can I upgrade to the full level of law of causality? He asked, who else dared to take his finger? Trunks, is this a God's transformation stronger than the Super Saiyan God's transformation? Why do I feel like this is a bit like us becoming Super Saiyan? Son Goku and Son Gohan came over, looked at Trunks and asked curiously. Although the Super Blue transformation is very powerful, even Vegeta, who turned into a super evil god, couldn't withstand a single move. But for some reason, they always feel that this Super Blue transformation is very similar to the Super Saiyan transformation. Uncle Goku, Brother Gohan. Actually, this Super Blue transformation is just an ordinary Super Saiyan transformation to me. Trunks looked at Son Goku and Son Gohan and said with a smile, "What's the meaning?" Son Goku and Son Gohan looked at each other and could see the confusion on each other's faces. So they looked at Trunks and asked, "Didn't I tell you before? Because I became Supreme Kai, my power is different from yours now. Your energy is still human energy, but my energy has become the divine power of God. So, the Super Saiyan God transformation is a stronger transformation for you. But for me, it is actually the norm. Because Super Sailor God is essentially a Yuya who has mastered the power of God." Hearing Trunks' words, Son Goku and Son Gohan also nodded. After they mastered the transformation of Super Sailor God, they actually understood it. The Super Saiyan God transformation is to change their power from Ki to the power of God. Because the power of God is much stronger than Ki, it is not on the same level at all. That's why they became so powerful after they became Super Saiyan gods. But Trunks is different from them. He has become a god, and the energy he uses is the power of God. So Super Saiyan God is a stronger transformation for them, but for Trunks, it is the norm. And the Super Blue transformation I just used, to me, is just a normal transformation into a Super Saiyan. But for you, it means becoming Super Saiyan based on Super Saiyan. The Super Blue transformation is essentially a Saiyan who has mastered the power of God and becomes a Super Saiyan. This is why the Black Goku in the original work can turn into Super Saiyan Pink so easily. And after turning into Pink, he is stronger than Super Blue Son Goku and Vegeta. Because Black Goku is Zamasu, and Zamasu is God. So essentially, Black Goku's normal state for Son Goku and Vegeta is the transformation of Super Saiyan God. And when he transformed into Pink, he actually just turned into Super Saiyan. But Son Goku and Vegeta are different because they did not turn Super Saiyan God into a normal state, but a stronger transformation. So for them, the Super Blue transformation is not as simple as an ordinary Super Saiyan transformation. Rather, it is a transformation of a god that is stronger than a Super Sailor God. Moreover, it is not that easy to master the Super Blue transformation. As for Super Blue 2 and even Super Blue 4 above the Super Blue transformation, not to mention, Trunks can transform easily because to him, it's just a normal Saiyan transformation. But if they want Master Son Goku, they need to put in a lot of effort. However, there is still some time before the competition, enough for Son Goku and the others to master the Super Blue transformation. Son Goku and Son Gohan have seen the power of Super Blue transformation, so they're not opposed to continuing to practice and mastering Super Blue transformation. As for Vegeta, let alone that, he has personally experienced the power of Super Blue. He was even thinking about whether he should find Trunks again to regain his glory after he mastered the Super Blue transformation. Novel World. After Shinon received funding from Beimiao, Duan Mayan felt anxious. Because Shinon will soon be able to obtain the God-level breathing method. As for other group members, some have already obtained it, and some want to obtain it sooner or later. Even Xiao Longnu, after she finds Gui Jing in her world, will receive funding to obtain God-level breathing techniques. Only he would need a long time to obtain the God-level breathing method, although taking away those Oxer things can indeed be exchanged for points. But the points are too few. He didn't know how many things he had to grab to get the 100,000 points needed for the God-level breathing method. Therefore, he set his sights on Ma Yishan. Chapter 65 King Shan. You don't want Lingling to turn into Oxer. Lingling, can you contact your brother Ma King Shan? I have something to ask him about. Duan Mayan found Ma Lingling and wanted her to contact Ma King Shan. He did not have Ma King Shan's contact information, and even if he did, Ma King Shan would not meet him. But Ma Lingling is different. Ma King Shan loves this sister very much. So if it was Ma Lingling, she would definitely be able to get Ma King Shan out. Duanmu, what do you want to do? However, after hearing Duan Mayan's words, Ma Lingling's first reaction was to be wary, because Duan Mayan hates Oxer very much. So, when I heard that Duan Mayan was looking for her brother, her first reaction was that Duan Mayan wanted to eliminate her brother Ma King Shan. Don't be so nervous. I'm not here to deal with him. Seeing Ma Lingling's wary look, Duan Mayan said helplessly, besides, with you here, what can I do to him? Duan Mayan muttered softly. He had quarreled with Ma Lingling several times before because of Ma King Shan's matter. It took a lot of effort to restore the relationship. He didn't want to quarrel with Ma Lingling again because of Ma King Shan's matter. Then what do you want to do with him? Ma Lingling asked in confusion when she heard that Duan Mayan was not trying to deal with her brother. Since it's not to deal with the other party, then why is Duanmu looking for his brother? I have some things to discuss with him. What's the matter? You will know what happened when the time comes. Duan Mayan did not tell Ma Lingling about the chat group, because after he meets Ma King Shan, he will naturally tell him about the chat group. Otherwise, what reason would he have for asking Ma King Shan to fund him? Is it possible to say to Ma King Shan, you don't want to be beaten up by me in front of your sister? That's it. Since he wanted to tell Ma King Shan, Ma Lingling would know it by then. After all, Ma Lingling couldn't let him go to see Ma King Shan alone. She will definitely go along. Seeing that Duan Mayan refused to tell her in advance, Ma Lingling pouted, a little unhappy. However, she still contacted her brother Ma King Shan because she was also curious about what Duanmu wanted to do with her brother. On the other side, Ma King Shan seemed a little hesitant after receiving a call from his sister saying that Duan Mayan wanted to discuss things with him, because now he and Duan Mayan are considered enemies. Duan Mayan wants to find him. What can happen? He still remembered that he was almost beaten to death by Duan Mayan before. However, Ma King Shan couldn't bear his sister's coquettishness and pleading, and finally agreed. Young master, do you want to see the summoner who took the wall armor? Li Zi on the side heard the conversation between Ma King Shan and Ma Lingling, so he knew that Ma King Shan was going to see Duan Mayan. This made him a little worried. What he was worried about was that Duan Mayan would take action against Ma King Shan. Of course, this is not because he is worried about Ma King Shan. It's because Ma King Shan is now on their side and a handy tool. If they were eliminated by Duan Mayan, there would be some trouble for them. Well, he said he had something to discuss with me. You just agreed? What if he wants to attack you? Probably not. Lingling will come with him. He will not attack me in front of Lingling. This is also the main reason why he agreed to meet Duan Mayan, because he believed that Duan Mayan would not attack him in front of his sister. Otherwise, he would have been defeated by Duan Mayan long ago. I don't know what the Nava Armor Summoner wants to do with you, young master. Li Zi was very curious and even wanted to go along. But think about it and forget it. If they are discovered along with him, they will directly anger Nava Armor Summoner and the young master. This is not a good thing for him. Anyway, when the eldest young master comes back, he will tell him the matter. Ma King Shan left and headed towards a ramen shop opened by his mother. That's right, the place Ma Lingling and Ma King Shan agreed upon was at their mother's ramen shop. After all, if you want to discuss things, you must find a safer place. And their mother's ramen shop is the safest. Let's put it this way, those senior officials in Oxel will never attack a ramen shop unless it is absolutely necessary. Unless they want to anger Ma Tian, Ma King Shan, Ma Kuahai, Ma Lingling, and Duan Muyan at the same time. Then the pros and cons will really join forces. While waiting for Ma King Shan to come over, Duan Mayan was not idle either. Duan Mayan, I've called King Shan over now and want him to help me. Duan Mayan, but how should I convince him? Tell him directly about the chat group and the God-level breathing method. Will he agree? This made Duan Mayan a little worried. After all, in his opinion, Ma King Shan was no longer human after becoming Oxer. It is no longer possible to think about each other with human thinking. What should I do if the other party doesn't believe me after learning about the chat group? Garp, it's simple. If he doesn't believe it, then just tell him in the group, and then we'll go directly to your world, right? Garp, seeing us appear, we can't tolerate him not believing it. Duan Mayan, Mr. Garp's idea is good, but even if he believes it, what if he doesn't want to help me? Xian Nan, then I'll use the method that the group leader taught me before. Just do it and beat him. Xin Nan, this is what you were best at, right? Duan Mayan, but Duan Mayan was very confused. Of course, he knew this method. But the problem is, how could he do it in front of Ma Lingling? Ma Lingling will definitely stop him, even if Ma King Shan agrees to fight him. If he finds out that Ma King Shan is no match for him halfway through the competition, Ma Lingling will definitely stop him. He has not forgotten what Ma Jiang said to him when he first learned that Ma King Shan had turned into Oxer. I'm afraid you'll hurt him. At that time, he replied, You are afraid that I will hurt him. Aren't you afraid that he will hurt me? Therefore, once he wants to defeat Ma King Shan, Ma Lingling will definitely stop him. Xin Nan, what's wrong, Duanmu? Didn't you volunteer before to teach Beimiao a lesson on my behalf? Why can't you do it when it's your turn? Xin Nan, well, if you can't do this, then let me help you. Xin Nan returned the favor, since Duan Mayan wanted to help him before. Then he will also help Duan Mayan this time. Duan Mayan, of course I have to do it. I almost beat him up once before. Duan Mayan, but the problem now is not a problem that I can't do, but a problem that I can't do. Xin Nan, I can't do it. Why? Duan Mayan, that's right. Duan Mayan told Ma Lingling about protecting her brother. Duan Mayan, so once I want to attack Ma King Shan, Ma Lingling will definitely stop me. Oga Tatsumi, then you can knock Ma Lingling unconscious first, and then take Ma King Shan to fight in a place without people. Guo Jing. But in this case, when Ma Lingling wakes up, she will definitely hate Duanmu's Ba very much. Xin Nan, well, if that's the case, it's really not easy to handle. Xin Nan thought about it. If Mincy's brother was a supernatural beast, then when he was about to take action against the opponent and Mincy came out to protect him, could he still do it? Most likely not. And he couldn't blame Mincy. After all, isn't it natural and normal for a sister to defend her brother? Subai, you can just use words to threaten me without taking action. Duan Mayan, threatening with words? Lord Group Leader, please make it clear. Subai, for example, you could say to Ma King Shan, you don't want to be beaten up by me in front of your sister. Seeing Su Bai's words, the corners of Duan Mian's mouth twitched slightly. Good guy. The group leader's thoughts are actually the same as his previous thoughts. He had had this thought before. But the problem is that Ma King Shan would not believe that he would do it in front of Ma Lingling. So his threat was completely meaningless. Duan Mayan, but the leader of the group, when I return to King Shan, I won't believe that I would attack him in front of his sister. Subai, I know, I just made a joke. Subai, actually, you can tell him, King Shan, you don't want your sister to become Oxer like you. Duan Mayan, what do you mean? Duan Mayan, Lord Leader, are you saying that Ma Lingling will also turn into Oxer? This time, Duanmu was dumbfounded. It's okay if his brother-in-law becomes Oxer. If it weren't for Ma Lingling, he would definitely chop down the opponent without hesitation. But if Ma Lingling turns into Oxer, will he have the heart to attack the other party? Could it be said that he wants to kill Jing Dao? The key is that once he kills the opponent, although the opponent will not die, he will only lose his memory. But what they have experienced between them will be forgotten by the other party. To be honest, when he faced any other Oxer, he would not hesitate to raise the sharp knife in his hand. But facing Ma Lingling, he really hesitated. Subai, she doesn't know how to do it now, but if she continues like this, she will become Oxer in the future. Duan Mayan, what do you mean? Subai, she will be injected with the virus by Li Xiaoqiu, a senior executive in the Tianhu group and the biggest mastermind behind Oxel, and the antibodies in her body that can fight the sad virus will be swallowed up. Subai, Then she turned into Oxer. Subai, so you can tell Ma Qingshan that if you don't want Ma Lingling to become Oxer, then I will help you. The stronger you become, the better you can protect Ma Lingling. Duan Mayan, Li Xiaoqiu, Duan Mayan, remember the name. He was still doubting where these Oxers came from. I also doubted whether Ma Tian, the chairman of Tianhu Group, was responsible. It turns out that the real man behind the scenes is this guy named Li Xiaoqiu. So, Kaitian was also used. At this time, Duan Mayan had great confidence in persuading Ma Qingshan. Ma Qingshan, he doesn't care about other things, but he is definitely very concerned about his sister's affairs. What? The other party didn't believe what he said? No, Ma Qingshan doesn't dare to gamble. If Ma Lingling turns into Oxer, Ma Qingshan will definitely regret it very much. Duan Mayan has also made up her mind to protect Ma Lingling and prevent her from turning into Oxer. While Duan Mayan was chatting in the group asking for advice, Qingshan also arrived at the ramen shop. The three of them found a room to sit down, and then Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling looked at Duan Mayan curiously. I don't know what happened to Duan Mayan. Qingshan, I hope you can help me. Duan Mayan looked at Ma Qingshan and said straight to the point. Support you? What do you mean? Originally, Ma Qingshan was still guessing that Duan Mayan had something to do with him. Are you going to attack him? Or is there something else? But I didn't expect that Duan Mayan would say such a sentence as soon as he came up. Allow yourself to sponsor him. Funding him for what? It wouldn't be to fund him to open a new ramen shop. Even Ma Lingling had a puzzled expression on her face. She thought that her reasoning ability was very good, and she had helped the police catch many Oxels before. But she never deduced that Duan Mayan was looking for her brother to get her brother to help her. Like her brother, Ma Lingling was also very confused. She didn't know why Duan Mayan wanted her brother to support him. Is such that Duan Mayan looked at Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling and told them about the chat group. Seeing their disbelieving expressions, Duan Mayan knew that they definitely didn't believe in herself. Duanmu, are you confused by your sleep? How could such a thing happen? Lingling, this world even has Oxer and armor. Isn't it magical? Then what's the surprise if something more magical happens again? What you said seems to make sense. Ma Lingling was speechless. Indeed, their world even has things like Oxer and armor. If these things were placed in the past, they would definitely be very magical, and no one would even believe them if they were told. But hasn't appeared yet. Therefore, the emergence of something more magical like a chat group does not seem to be impossible. So, you want me to help you get those God-level breathing techniques so that you could become stronger? Why should I do this? Strictly speaking, we are enemies now. 27 Ma Qingshan looked at Duan Mayan and said coldly, putting aside the question of whether he believed it or not. Let's talk about why he wanted to fund Duan Mayan. You must know that Duan Mayan is now their enemy in Oxer. Moreover, Duan Mayan is already strong enough, and Oxer will always be hacked to death when he encounters him. If he can obtain the God-level breathing method again, then Oxer can still have a good life in the future. Chapter 66. Being cruel to other Oxels and being gentle to his own wife is a double standard. Seeing that Ma Qingshan refused to help her, Duan Mayan didn't panic, because the group leader had already told him what to do before. Qingshan, it's okay if you become Oxer yourself. You don't want to let Lingling become Oxer like you. Duan Mayan looked at Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling and said with a smile. He believed that both Qingshan and Ma Lingling would react after hearing his words. Sure enough, after hearing Duan Mayan's words, the brother and sister looked at each other and then shouted in unison. Ling will turn into Oxer. I will become Oxer. Their expressions were full of disbelief and inability to accept it. Like Duan Mayan, Ma Lingling also hates Oxer. If her brother was not Oxer, she would not have stopped Duan Mayan from attacking her brother. But what does Duanmu say now? She will actually become Oxer? As for Ma Qingshan, it is even more difficult to accept. You must know that he was trying to prevent his sister from being exposed to the violence virus. While protecting his sister, he accidentally came into contact with the virus, causing himself to become Oxer. Although it is very troublesome to become Oxer yourself, but at least his sister did not become Oxer, so his previous protection of her was useful. But now Duan Mayan tells him that his sister will become Oxer in the future. How would he accept this? Duanmu, what you said is false. How could I become Oxer? Ma Lingling was so panicked at this time that she couldn't calm down when she thought that she would become Oxer in the future. It's not false. That's what the group leader told me as 460. And the group leader is omniscient and omnipotent, and he has never missed anything he said. The members in the group believe 100% in the words of the group leader. Whatever the group leader says will happen, that will definitely happen. If there's a way to solve it, then this method will definitely work. Therefore, there is absolutely no need to doubt the authenticity of the group leader's words. Moreover, he is a real God. He is extremely powerful and supreme. Is it necessary to deceive these little Karami? Is there anything in them worthy of being deceived by the group leader? Seeing Duan Mayan's determined expression, even Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling, who were very skeptical, couldn't help but believe it. Of course, they didn't fully believe it, because they still don't know whether Duan Mayan has really joined that magical chat group. If you don't believe it, then let me prove it. Duan Mayan said after seeing the expressions of disbelief on the brother and sister's faces. He had a way of convincing them. How are you going to prove it? It's very simple. King Shan, do you have anything valuable on you? I can exchange them for points in front of you. Duan Mayan didn't have anything valuable on him, so he couldn't exchange the armor. If he can become physically stronger than the summoned armor, he can sell the armor. But it can't be sold now. On me, Ma Qingshan searched for himself and found that except for his mobile phone and wallet, there was nothing valuable. A cell phone and wallet will do too. Of course, your clothes are also famous brands. You can also give me your clothes. Forget the clothes, I don't want to be naked when the time comes. Ma Qingshan handed Duan Mayan his mobile phone and wallet. Duan Mayan exchanged these things into points in front of the two of them. This is not a magic trick, but I really converted these things into points. Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling looked very stunned. Of course they know it's not magic, because they watched helplessly Duan Mayan just put the thing in his hand, and then the thing disappeared by itself. Is there any magic that can do this? Even top magic masters can't do it. Just let things disappear by themselves without moving. So, what Duan Mayan said is true. Did he really join that mysterious chat group? Moreover, after Ma Lingling, she will also become Oxer? Why did Lingling become Oxer later? Ma Qingshan has believed in Duan Mayan, and now he wants to know why his sister turned into Oxer. You must know that this is the sister you love the most. How can you accept the other person becoming Oxer? Not to mention Ma Qingshan. Even Ma Tian couldn't accept that his daughter was infected by the virus and turned into Oxer. In the original work, when he knew that Li Zi had injected the ultimate virus into his daughter, he directly killed Li Zi. If Li Zi hadn't been able to resurrect, he would have been killed directly. It can be said that Ma Lingling is the treasure of the whole family. The men of the Ma family, including Ma Tian, can allow themselves to get into trouble, but not Ma Lingling. Because of Li Xiaoqiu, the group leader told me that Lingling originally had virus antibodies in her body, so she would not have turned into Oxer. But then, that Li Xiaoqiu injected a stronger virus into her, swallowing up her antibodies. And then it's him. Ma Qingshan was no stranger to Li Xiaoqiu. He was an employee of Tianhu Group, and was also considered a leader. The other party was indeed studying the virus, but I didn't expect that the other party would actually attack Lingling. So, I need to become stronger to protect Lingling and prevent her from becoming Oxer in the future. After hearing Duan Mayan's words, Qingshan lowered his head and pondered. He didn't want his sister to become Oxer, but he wasn't very happy to ask him to support Duan Mayan. After all, the relationship between them cannot be said to be very good. Seeing Ma Qingshan's hesitation, Duan Mayan was also a little anxious. He originally thought that after knowing that his sister would become Oxer, Ma Qingshan would agree to sponsor him without hesitation. But I didn't expect that the other party was still hesitating. What are you still hesitating about? If you don't want Lingling to turn into Oxer, I can do it, as long as Li Xiaoqiu and his men are kept away from Lingling. Why should we support you? Can you guarantee that they will not get close to Lingling? Do you dare to bet? Moreover, the Oxer that appears now is getting stronger and stronger, and Li Xiaoran and his men will also become more and more sleepy. If you don't have enough strength, how can you protect Lingling? This, Ma Qingshan was shaken. Indeed, they did not have enough strength. If Li Xiaoqiu and the others really wanted to do something to Lingling, they would really be unable to stop them. Although Duan Mayan is very strong now, he can deal with 2 Oxers without any problem. But what about 3, 4, or even 5? Can he still deal with it? But even if you ask me to help you, I can't help you much. I don't have much money myself. Hearing what Ma Qingshan said, Duan Mayan knew that the other party had agreed to fund it. As expected, Ma Qingshan, among other things, really loves his sister very much. But yes, Ma Lingling is so cute and lively. Which brother wouldn't love such a sister? You can ask your dad for it. Isn't your dad the chairman of Tianhu group? Also, although the biggest culprit behind Oxel is Li Xiaoqiu, your father also has a big responsibility. He should also take this responsibility. Hearing Duan Mayan talk about their father, Ma Shan and Ma Lingling sighed helplessly. It is impossible to say that their father did not know anything about what Li Xiaoqiu did. It can be said that their father played a major role in Li Xiaoqiu's ability to develop such a powerful virus. Did the group leader ever say that if Lingling really turns into Oxer, what will happen next? Would you do anything to her? Ma Qingshan asked very curiously. He knew that Duan Mayan hated Oxer very much. If Lingling hadn't stopped him, he would have been hacked long ago. Then the problem comes. Duan Mayan can be ruthless to her brother-in-law. What about Lingling? If Lingling really turns into Oxer, will he do anything to Lingling? I don't know about this. Duan Mayan shrugged, but he was also curious about whether he would take action against Ma Lingling. So I quickly asked in the group, Duan Mayan, at Group Subai, Lord Group Leader, if Lingling really turns into Oxer, will I do anything to her? Subai, you didn't know at the beginning that when she turned into Oxer, she would do something to her, and she was almost killed by the poison. Subai, but after you found out that Lingling turned into Oxer, you couldn't do anything. Duan Mayan, I understand. Thank you, Group Leader, for informing me. Seeing Subai's answer, Duan Mayan also breathed a sigh of relief. He was really worried that he would still be able to do this after Lingling turned into Oxer. If this was true, he really didn't know how to face Lingling in the future. Seeing Duan Mayan breathe a sigh of relief, Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling knew the answer. Ma Lingling was very happy and felt sweet in her heart. You must know that Duan Mayan hates Oxer the most, and will chop them up when he encounters Oxer. But he can't do it because of himself. This shows that his status in Duanmu's heart is very high. As for Ma Qingshan, his expression was a little strange. Good guy Duan Mayan, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, could actually engage in double standards. The others turned into Oxels and rushed forward to chop them with knives without saying a word. But when Lingling turned into Oxer, he couldn't do this. Damn, it's like I was fed a mouthful of dog food. But that's fine. In this way, he can safely hand over Lingling to Duan Mayan. After all, after knowing that Lingling had turned into Oxer, Duan Mayan couldn't even take action. This shows how good he is to Lingling. If Duan Mayan knew what Ma Qingshan was thinking, he would definitely feel aggrieved. It's not like he was like this from the beginning, just drawing his sword and slashing when he encountered Oxer. At the beginning, he also tried to persuade those Oxers to surrender and persuade them to correct themselves. But it's no use. Then, he didn't bother to say anything and just chopped it off. I can help you, even if you ask my dad for money. It's okay. But you must promise not to let Lingling encounter any danger, let alone let her turn into Oxer. Otherwise, I won't let you go. If Duan Mayan puts her sister in danger, she may even turn her sister into Oxer. Even if he is not Duan Mayan's opponent, he will not let him go. Don't worry, I will protect Lingling well. Duan Muyana Surd, Ma Qingshan. If you can't protect Lingling even after getting help from Ma Qingshan and obtaining the god-level breathing method, then he might as well buy a piece of tofu and kill him. Duanmu, then you? No, it's the group leader. Is there any way to make my brother return to a normal person? At this time, Ma Lingling looked at Duan Mayan and asked expectantly, since the group leader is so powerful, is there any way he can turn his brother back into a normal person? Hearing what his sister said, Ma Qingshan, who had already accepted that he was Oxer, couldn't help but his eyes lit up, although he has now accepted the fact that he is Oxer. But if he could choose between Oxer and humans, then he would still choose to be human, not Oxer. Wait a moment, let me ask. Duan Mayan, Lord Leader, is there any way you can make Ma Qingshan return to a normal person? Subayo, is Ma Qingshan willing to help you? So you want to solve this problem for him? Duan Mayan, well, he promised to help me. So, if I can make him return to a normal person, then I still hope to make him too. Return to a normal person. First of all, Ma Qingshan is Ma Lingling's brother. If he can make the other person become a normal person, that would be great. Secondly, although Ma Qingshan is an Oxer, he is not a criminal like other Oxers. He himself has not committed any crime. So, if you can become a normal person, let's become a normal person. Subai, yes, but not yet. Duan Mayan, not yet? What do you mean, Subai? After a while, the anti-venom serum that can purify the violence virus will be produced, and Ma Qingshan can turn back to a normal person. Subai, but the anti-venom has not been produced yet, so he cannot recover yet. Duan Mayan, I see, as long as there is a way to recover. Subai, by the way, you asked Ma Qingshan to be careful not only about Li Xiaoqiu and his father, but also about the plum next to him. Subai, you will have big conflicts with him in the future, just because of this plum in front of him. Subai, also, Ma Lingling was injected with the ultimate virus by him later, which made Ma Lingling unable to recover with the anti-venom serum. Duan Mayan, Li Zi, I know if I have the chance, I will definitely kill him. After exiting the chat group, Duan Mayan found that Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling were looking at him nervously. After all, this is related to whether he, his brother, can become a normal person. The group leader said that you can change back to a normal person later, but not yet. The anti-venom serum that can purify the SAD virus will be produced later, and you will return to normal after taking the anti-venom serum. Hearing Duan Mayan's words, Ma Qingshan and Ma Lingling breathed a sigh of relief. Chapter 67, The Day of Competition, is coming. Compa. This is Su Bai's first move. When will this anti-venom serum be produced? Ma Qingshan asked hurriedly again. This was related to whether he could return to normal, so he couldn't help but be nervous. The group leader didn't say anything. Anyway, it definitely doesn't exist now. It will definitely appear later. Don't be so anxious yet. Yes, brother, don't worry. Since the group leader didn't say anything, it means that we will know when the anti-venom serum appears, so there's no need for him to tell us. Well, I hope so. Ma Qingshan nodded and calmed down his mood. In short, after knowing that he can become a normal person in the future, he feels much better. By the way, Qingshan, the group leader also told me to be careful about the plum next to you. This plum has stirred up the relationship between me and you, causing conflicts between the two of us. And the ultimate virus will be injected into Lingling, so that after Lingling becomes Oxer, she cannot use anti-venom to recover. Duan Mayan told Ma Qingshan the information he got from Subai. What did you say? That plum, how dare he do this? I learned that Li Zi was so bold as to inject the ultimate virus into his sister, which caused harm to her that even the anti-venom serum could not save. Ma Qingshan suddenly became angry. He originally thought that Li Zi would only be flattering and timid. I didn't expect that he would be so courageous. Moreover, this Li Zi is still teasing the relationship between himself and Duan Mayan. This suddenly made Ma Qingshan think that during this period, Li Zi had been mentioning Nava in front of him. As a result, he really hated Duan Mayan more and more. Originally, he was not like this, but it seems that from the time Li Zi started talking bad about Duan Mayan, he became more and more disgusted with Duan Mayan, and there was a conflict between them. Unexpectedly, this was actually Li Zi's intention. Moreover, he actually felt that what the other party said was reasonable. He was actually fooled around by this plum. That guy 20 is just looking for death. Ma Qingshan wanted to burst the plum immediately, incited a conflict between him and Duan Mayan, and also infected his sister with the ultimate virus. This plum already has a way to die. There's no point in you troubling him now. What we have to do now is to improve our strength first. If I had enough strength, then all problems would not be a problem. Although Duan Mayan also wanted to chop the plums, he knew that now was not the time. It's not difficult to chop plums, but doing so will alert the enemy. Now that we know that the man behind the scenes is Li Xiaoqiu, then you need to know what the other party's purpose is. What? Why not ask the group leader? If you ask the group leader about everything, wouldn't it turn you into a waste? Unless it is necessary, it is better to do some things by yourself. Duan Mayan asked Ma Qingshan to go back first and pretend that he didn't know anything. That's right, Duan Mayan asked Ma Qingshan to become an undercover agent. With undercover Ma Qingshan here, it will be much easier to deal with Li Xiaoqiu, Li Zi, and Ma Tian. Moreover, Ma Qingshan can also use his father's money to help him become stronger before he can deal with Li Xiaoqiu and the others. Perfect. As for Ma Lingling, Duan Mayan asked her to talk to her when she went out. It would be best if you follow along yourself. After all, no matter how strong he was, if Ma Lingling was allowed to go out alone, Li Xiaoqiu would eventually seize the opportunity. Ma Lingling also knew the seriousness of the matter, so she agreed. After handling these matters, Duan Mayan opened the chat group and shared the good news with the group. Duan Mayan, everyone, I have now received funding from Ma Qingshan, and I have also resolved the misunderstanding with him and made him my undercover agent, Xinan. If that's the case, wouldn't you be able to wipe out all the oxals in your world very quickly? Duan Mayan, not necessarily. After all, I don't know how many oxals there are now. I only know that the man behind oxals is Li Xiaoqiu. Xinan, anyway, since you have received funding, your strength will become stronger and stronger in the future, and those oxers will not be your opponents. Duan Mayan, the same goes for you, Xinan. After you receive funding, you can also lead your teammates to become stronger together. Duan Mayan, the stronger your team becomes, the easier it will be to deal with the supernatural beasts in your world. Duan Mayan, looking back at me, I didn't have any teammates originally, but now I finally made Qingshan my teammate, and I still don't know if this teammate is a pig teammate, because I had no teammates before, and I saw the dangers of Beimiao, a pig teammate. Therefore, although Ma Qingshan has now become his undercover agent, Duan Mayan is still a little uneasy. What if Ma Qingshan is an unreliable teammate and becomes a pig teammate? Garp. Anyway, it doesn't matter if he's a pig teammate or not, as long as it can help you obtain the God-level breathing method. Garp. After you obtain the God-level breathing method, even if he is really a pig teammate, you will still have the strength to solve the problem. Duan Mayan. Mr. Garp is right. Once I get the God-level breathing technique, I won't care if Ma Qingshan is a pig teammate or not. Subai. So it seems that everyone in the group has either obtained the God-level breathing method or has a way to obtain the God-level breathing method. Lu Paiqiang. There are not many people in the group who have not obtained the God-level breathing method. Lu Paiqiang. The only ones left are Xiao Longnu, Xiao Dongjia, Xinan, and Duanmu. Alu. It seems so, and among them, Xinan and Duanmu have received funding, and Xiao Longnu will also go to Xianyang City to find Guijing in her world to obtain funding. Alu. As for the young boss, hasn't he opened several restaurants now? He should be able to earn resources very quickly. Little boss. Well, I already have several restaurants in my hands now. Little master. And my need for God-level breathing techniques is not as great as yours. I am satisfied with mastering God-level cooking skills. Subai. It seems that in the near future, all members of our group will learn the God-level breathing method. Subai. But you can't let down your guard. When a mall is upgraded, I have a stronger version of the God-level breathing method waiting to be uploaded. Garp, hey, for the stronger God-level breathing method in the hands of the group leader, I have to work harder to earn points. Guijing. Me too, but there are many places where I spend my points. I bought all 3 God-level skills uploaded by the group leader. Absolutely most of the members in the group will buy God-level breathing techniques and God-level cooking skills, because these 2 magical skills can directly enhance their strength. As for the God-level piano skill, although it is also a magical skill, except for Xinan, who needs to use it to improve his piano skill, the other group members are not very interested in it, because it's not very useful to them. But Guijing couldn't do without this move. After becoming a disciple of Hong Qigong, Guijing conquered Hong Qigong with his God-level cooking skills. Moreover, he also told his master about the chat group. After learning that Guojing wanted to overthrow the Song dynasty, Hong Nigong also expressed his support. It's okay if he doesn't support it. He has already boarded this pirate ship. Moreover, the current Zhao and Song royal family is indeed not very good. Therefore, Hong Qigong directly asked everyone in the beggar clan to obey Guojing's orders. Guojing also used his god-level cooking skills to greatly improve the strength of the entire beggar clan. Under Guojing's order, they exterminated the bandits and dealt with corrupt officials and businessmen who preyed on the common people. However, the beggar clan is a mixed bag, with people from all kinds of religions and streams. And after Guojing showed his talents, not only the beggar gang, but also many people from other circles or ordinary people joined him. And because of Guojing, their strength has been greatly improved. This leads to some problems in their mentality. Gradually, he began to become the person he hated most before. Guojing himself knew it and wanted to solve this problem, but there were so many people that it was very troublesome to solve it. However, after the emergence of god-level piano skills, Guojing saw hope. As long as you learn the god-level piano skills, you can play a song to your subordinates. Those who have a way to die will choose to commit suicide out of guilt and shame. This is the best way to eliminate cancer, although doing so will weaken the power of his subordinates. But this is what needs to be done. He didn't want his men to become the people they hated most before. Because of this, Guojing became the only group member besides the group leader Su Bai who had mastered 3 god-level skills. Garp, I see. Indeed, you really need this god-level piano skill. Garp, but you reminded me that I also need to buy a god-level piano skill. Why go back? I will also use it against the Navy. Garp thought of the Navy, which was also a mixed bag with all kinds of people. Therefore, he also needs to use his god-level piano skills to eliminate the cancer in the Navy. Butterfly Ninja. Me too, I also want to use my god-level piano skills to test the members of the Demon Slayer squad. Group members who have people under them still need god-level piano skills. But for other group members, it is not so necessary. Garp. At Guojing, so when do you plan to use it on your people? Guojing. Wait until they gather together. Guojing. In order to prevent any fish from slipping through the net, I asked all my people to gather together, so it will take some time. Nowadays, the forces under Guojing are not only spread throughout the entire Song dynasty, but there are people under him in at least half of the Song dynasty. Therefore, it will take some time to gather so many people. When everyone arrives, he will use his god-level piano skills on them. Moreover, after he got rid of all the cancers under his command, the decisive battle with the Song dynasty was not far away. After chatting in the group for a while, Su Bai closed the chat group. Now the other group members in the chat group are developing steadily. At least nothing special will happen these days. Now the competition with the 6th universe is getting closer and closer. Before the competition, nothing should happen in the group, and nothing should happen to the group members. It just so happened that if anything happened after the competition, he could have some fun and pass the time. In the next few days, Su Bai would practice as much as he could, and then Shuiken would see how his son Goku and Broly were doing. A few days later, the date of the competition agreed with Compa was also the day when 917 finally arrived. Under the leadership of Whis, Su Bai, Son Goku, and others went to the location of the competition, an unnamed planet located at the junction of the 6th universe and the 7th universe. When he arrived at the unknown planet, Su Bai recognized it. This nameless planet is exactly the nameless planet in the original work, and it is also one of the Super Dragon Balls. Originally, Su Bai was still thinking that there are many nameless planets at the junction of the 6th universe and the 7th universe. Could it be such a coincidence that it happened to be the one in the original work? Facts have proved that it is really such a coincidence. But when Su Bai and others arrived, the people from the 6th universe had already arrived. Moreover, the arena has been set up, as well as audience seats and player seats. Obviously, these are all prepared by the 6th universe. However, Su Bai was not very satisfied with Compa's taste. Therefore, he asked Whis to slightly improve it and replace the auditorium and player seats with soft seats. And next to his location, there are a lot of food and drinks. He could eat and drink while watching the battle between 2 strong men from the universe. However, Subai asked Whis to improve the ones in the 7th universe, but he did not touch the ones in the 6th universe. So, Vados, I want to be like Subai. Seeing that the location of Subai is so comfortable and there are so many delicious food, Kampa is not happy. He doesn't want to lose to Subai in this regard. A little Vados staff changes Kampa's position to the same as Subai's. But when it comes to food, she is powerless. Hey Vados, where's the delicious food? The same delicious food as Subai. The delicacies of Mr. Kampa and Mr. Subai all come from the 7th universe. Our 6th universe does not have such delicacies. Vados said helplessly. The delicacies Whis gave to Subai were all delicacies from the 7th universe. But there is no such delicacy in the 6th universe, so naturally, she can't bring it out. Of course, being an angel is not impossible. It's just not necessary. Isn't it interesting to see Kampa deflated? Oomph. This Subai, I didn't expect that he gave me a blow before the competition started. Why he did this to show how good the food in Universe 7 is? Is he trying to compete with the food around him? But it's a pity that the food in the 7th universe is definitely not as good as the food in our 6th universe. Kampa drooled when he looked at the food around Subai, but he still said it very stubbornly. It's a pity that Subai didn't hear what Kampa said. Otherwise, he would definitely tell Kampa that the food around him does not represent the food of the 7th universe. Not to mention the food he used to compete with the 6th universe this time. At most, it's just a snack. Chapter 68, coincidentally, my cooking is also related to eggs, golden egg fried rice. Kampa's attention was all attracted by the food around Subai, and he did not pay attention to the 7th universe contestants. Subai, on the other hand, was enjoying the food while observing the players of the 6th universe. In this competition, the players brought by Kampa are roughly the same as those in the original work. Just two different people. In the original work, the player Kampa leads is a yellow bear called Bottomo. There's also a metal man named Magetta who looks very similar to Frisia and is Frost from Frisia in the 6th universe. Sion Gabe from the 6th universe, and Hit, the strongest killer from the 6th universe. But this time, Frost, Gabe, and Hit remained unchanged. However, Bottomo and Majida did not come. Instead, they were replaced by two other Scions, or two female Scions. That's right, Caulifla and Kel. It's interesting, the yellow bear and the metal man turned into Caulifla and Kel. But it's not a big problem. Caulifla and Kale are indeed very strong, especially Kyur, despite her usually submissive nature. But you must know that she is the target of Broly. She is the legendary Scion from the 6th universe. It's just that they're also passing Scion, and Kyur's strength is not as strong as Broly. It can be said that Broly can completely penetrate the 6th universe's lineup by himself. Vegeta, is this a contestant from the 6th universe? Are those three people also Scion? On the side, Son Goku and others are also observing their own game. The three Scions of Caulifla also attracted their attention. After all, they are both Scions, and the opponent is a Scion from the 6th universe. They will definitely be curious about the difference between them and their Scion from the 7th universe. Even Vegeta looked at Caulifla and the three of them curiously. There's also that guy who looks a lot like Frisia. Could he be Frisia from Universe 6? Shout. Seeing his face makes me feel very unhappy. Vegeta suddenly felt unhappy when he saw Frost. He was killed by Frisia on Namek, but he has not yet avenged this revenge. Now, see a guy who looks exactly like Frisia. I really can't help but want to beat the other person up. Son Goku and others are observing Caulifla and others. Caulifla and others were also observing them. Are these the contestants of the 7th universe? They all look like Scion. It's just that there are no female Scions in the 7th universe. Why are they all male Scions? Caulifla looked at Son Goku and others and said with some displeasure, although she is a female among the Scions, her strength is no worse than those of the male Scions, and is even stronger. Therefore, after seeing that all the Scions sent by the 7th universe were male Scions, I felt a little unhappy. Scion, the girl in the 7th universe, is a bit too bad. Hit, on the other hand, had his eyes closed all the time. But then, as if he felt threatened, he suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Broly. Although the other party looks silly and naive. But as the strongest killer in the 6th universe, Hit still felt a threat from the opponent. The other party can threaten him. This time, Hit immediately became interested. Originally, he came to participate in the competition this time, not because he was interested, but because he wanted to get something from Compa. He is not interested in who his opponent is. In other words, he felt that no one from Universe 7 could interest him. But now he changed his mind because he met a player who could threaten him. It seems that this time the competition will not be boring. Subai, since your 7th universe has also arrived, you can start competing. Compa came to Subai and said to Subai, he couldn't wait to see Subai lose to him, and he is also very confident in his 6th universe, thinking that he can win both games. Of course, if he doesn't want to look at the delicious food next to Subai while talking. That can also give him confidence and a little more credibility. Whatever. So the first competition is a food competition, right? Well, this time I found 3 of the most delicious foods in our 6th universe. 2 out of 3 games, whichever side's food can win 2 times will win the food competition. Okay, so start now. Let's start. Subai and Compa came to a table to prepare for the first food competition. In the food competition, each side has to bring out 3 kinds of food for the other party to taste. Then rate the other person's food, with 1 point being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Of course, there is no need to worry about cheating, such as deliberately giving a low score to the other party's food, because Angel will also participate in scoring. And they're the most fair and impartial and will not favor their own universe. Hey, Vados, bring out the delicacies of our 6th universe. Vados clicked the staff in his hand, and 3 delicacies appeared in front of Compa. However, the lids are still on at this time, so we don't know the true nature of the food yet. Whis. Subai also signaled to Whis, and Whis also brought out the 3 delicacies prepared by Subai. Oh, don't you want to compete with what you just ate? No, although those delicacies are enough to win. Subai said very casually, as if he had already won the 10 food competitions easily. And this is indeed the case. Although the delicacies he just ate were not made by himself, they were still delicacies from the earth. Those delicacies alone are enough to win this food competition. Not to mention, the delicacies he brought out to compete this time were delicacies made by him using god-level cooking skills and using ingredients from the captive world of delicacies. Moreover, they still reproduced the dishes of Xiaodangjia. With the 3 buffs superimposed, Subai really doesn't need to pay too much attention to this food competition. With Vados here, he doesn't have to worry about Compa cheating and deliberately giving his food a low score. After all, Vados, like Whis, is also a foodie. If Compa deliberately scores low, she will definitely be the first to stop it. Now that we're all ready, let's get started. This is the first delicacy of our 6th universe. Compa said as he opened the lid. The next moment, several eggs appeared and lay on the plate. These eggs look no different from ordinary eggs in appearance, except that they are larger than ordinary eggs. This is the most delicious egg in our 6th universe. What do you think? Hurry up and bring out the delicacies from your 7th universe. Compa is very confident in its 6th universe cuisine, especially when the first delicacy appeared. He didn't know how he was going to lose. You know, this is the most delicious egg in their 6th universe. Even now, seeing these eggs makes him drool. This is the first delicacy of your 6th universe. The most delicious egg? Subai looked at the egg and remembered. In the original work, Compa also uses these eggs to compete with Beerus. In the end, Beerus just took out the cup noodles and killed him instantly. Don't look at it. These eggs are much larger than ordinary eggs. But actually, the taste is no different from regular eggs. Is this the most delicious egg in the 6th universe? Although he knew that the food in the 6th universe was very poor, he did not expect that it was so poor. Ordinary eggs can actually become the most delicious eggs. How unpalatable are the other eggs? No wonder Compa wanted to get the earth of the 7th universe after tasting cup noodles. As a foodie, I suddenly found that my universe did not have any delicious food. How can you bear this? Yes, this is the most delicious egg in our 6th universe. How about it? You must really want to eat it now. Kampa wanted to see Su-Bai drooling. This was the most delicious egg in their sixth universe. He didn't believe Su-Bai could withstand it. In fact, Su-Bai can really withstand it. Aren't they just ordinary eggs? They are everywhere on the earth. And it's just ordinary eggs. Why don't I get some tea eggs? Kampa was a little disappointed to see that Su-Bai was not tempted by the delicious food in his universe. But he believed it must be because Su-Bai hadn't eaten yet. Once Su-Bai eats it, you will definitely not be able to resist this delicious food. Kampa looked at the plate in front of Su-Bai. For the first delicacy, he took out the most delicious eggs in the sixth universe. May I ask how Su-Bai responded? What a coincidence! My first dish is also related to eggs. Su-Bai opened the lid as he spoke. The next moment, a dazzling golden light flashed along with a rich and incomparable aroma. Even the strong men from both universes on the player bench saw it. I even smelled the rich fragrance. Although Kampa didn't say anything, he kept shaking his nose, trying to inhale all the fragrance. Even the two angels, Whis and Vados, shine. This was the first time they smelled such a strong fragrance. Judging from the aroma alone, this must be an extremely delicious dish. When the light dissipated, Su-Bai's first dish was also presented in front of Kampa. This is a dish of rice, but the difference is that the rice grains seem to be made of gold, shining with golden light. Golden egg fried rice. This is one of Xiao classic dishes, golden egg fried rice. This is why Su-Bai said that his first dish was also related to eggs. After all, isn't egg fried rice also made with eggs? It's just that the rice and eggs, including various seasonings, are extraordinary. All come from the captive world of gourmet food and are not ordinary ingredients. Master Su-Bai, is this the dish you prepared? How did you get this dish? Whis asked very curiously. Before, he originally wanted to use delicacies from the earth to participate in the competition. After all, the delicacies on Earth are the best in the universe. It's just right for a competition. As a result, Su-Bai said that he would prepare the dishes for the competition. When Su-Bai handed him the 3 dishes, he was also very curious, but he still resisted his curiosity and did not open it to take a look. Therefore, this is also the first time Whis has seen the true face of cooking. This also made Whis very curious. Where did Su-Bai come from? He has also eaten egg fried rice, but it's nothing special. The egg fried rice on the ball is not as fragrant as this egg fried rice, nor is it as shiny as this egg fried rice. I did it myself. I still have some experience in cooking. I see. Whis understood and was not surprised that Su-Bai knew how to cook and was so good at cooking. After all, he had already seen Su-Bai's incredible talent. I guess I learned it when I saw those Earth chefs cooking on Earth. Not only did I learn it, but I also became better at it. So, let's taste this first dish with each other now. Ugh! Kampa couldn't bear it anymore and hurriedly passed the golden egg fried rice in front of Su-Bai. Of course, Vados also had quick eyesight and quick hands, and took half of it. No way. Su-Bai only prepared a plate of golden egg fried rice. The two of them could only share the food. After getting the food, Kampa and Vados hurriedly tasted it. As soon as they took the food, their eyes lit up and their faces were intoxicated. Whis couldn't help but swallowed when he saw the expressions of the two people. I don't know what Su-Bai's food tastes like. It's a pity that he couldn't taste his own food in the competition. Then, well done. Su-Bai also took the eggs in front of Kampa, took one for himself, and gave one to Whis. Although I didn't have any expectations, when I took the first bite, I found that it tasted exactly like eggs. Su-Bai was still a little disappointed, especially since this is no different from boiled eggs and has no taste. And the way he dislikes eggs the most is boiled eggs. He likes to eat other tea eggs, poached eggs, and the like. I only don't like boiled eggs because they have no flavor. So after taking a bite, he stopped eating. And Whis, because his mouth has been cultivated by the delicacies of the earth, he has no interest in eggs that are no different from ordinary eggs. On the other hand, Kampa and Vados ate like a wolf. Even Vados no longer cared about his image as a girl and an angel, and ate with huge gulps, not even caring that the rice stuck to his mouth. Soon, Kampa and Vados finished the golden egg fried rice with unfinished expressions on their faces. How about it? The food in our seventh universe is pretty good, isn't it? After hearing Su Bai's words, Kampa came back to his senses, looked at Su Bai opposite with a faint smile, and said very unconvinced. Just SOSO. Su Bai doesn't mind Kampa's harsh words. Since you finished eating, let's rate it. Kampa was very conflicted. He wanted to give Su Bai's cooking the lowest score, but he knew that this score would definitely not be recognized. But if the score is high, wouldn't it allow Su Bai to win this game? He knew very well that the most delicious eggs in his universe were nothing compared to Su Bai's cooking. Seeing Kampa hesitate there, Su Bai knew what he was thinking. He didn't bother to care and directly gave his score. 2 points. Chapter 69, Poison Again. This time you can ask the little master to feed him. No way, it tastes the same as ordinary eggs, so it really can't get high marks. I give it 2 points because it tastes like eggs. And eggs are also his favorite eggs. If this were replaced with something like a duck egg, it would be 1 point. And Whis also gave his score. His score was a little higher than Su Bai's, but he couldn't get anywhere, so he was given a 3-point score. There is no way. His mouth has been fed by all kinds of delicacies from the earth. An egg that tastes the same as an ordinary egg is really unattractive. At the same time, Vados also gave his own score. It's a perfect score. If it is not the maximum score specified, it is 10 points. Vados even wants to give 100 or 1,000 points. This plate of golden egg fried rice is definitely worth such a high score, full score. Master Kampa, what are you still struggling with? After finishing the score, Vados looked at Kampa, who was still struggling. She knew what Kampa was struggling with, but she would not allow Kampa to score low for no reason. If even such a delicious golden egg fried rice has to be deliberately given a low score, that would be too much. Shameless is not so shameless. Seeing that Vados had finished scoring, Kampa was helpless and scored a perfect 10 points. There is no way, even Vados scored full marks. If his score was lower, even 9 points, none of Vados would agree. However, Kampa was still unwilling to do so. Su Bai, you just said that you cooked this food yourself. Yeah, what's wrong? Isn't it a bit inappropriate for you, God of Destruction, to cook your own food for a competition? What's inappropriate? It can't compete with cooking, so Kampa wants to make a fuss in other areas? It's not appropriate anyway. What we were talking about before was to compete with the cuisine of the 7th universe. But you, the gods of destruction, cook your own food. It doesn't count. This competition doesn't count. Kampa started cheating. But we have never said before that gods of destruction are not allowed to cook their own food. If you can also cook your own food to compete. I didn't say it before, but now I suddenly say it doesn't matter. This is inappropriate. Su Bai can't spoil Kampa. If he says it doesn't count, it doesn't count. Why? The previous rules did not prohibit gods of destruction from cooking by themselves. Master Kampa, don't we have 2 more dishes? Let's continue the competition. Even Vados couldn't stand it and spoke to stop Kampa from continuing to cheat. That's not how cheating works. And the other person is not Lord Beerus, so he will not spoil him. Even Vados spoke, and Kampa had no choice but to continue the competition. Of course, he had completely given up any hope in the food competition. Since Su Bai can prepare 1 dish, he can prepare 3 dishes. The remaining 2 dishes were probably cooked by Su Bai himself. Moreover, it does not need to be of any higher level, even if it is just the same level as golden egg fried rice. Then their 6th universe's delicacies can't compare. The second dish, Kampa brought out a steak. But it's not steak, but the steak of a dragon-shaped creature from Universe 6, which is juicy and delicious. The second dish prepared by Su Bai also has something to do with dragons. Shinran dumplings. The dumplings used by the little boss to win the dumpling contest. And although this dish doesn't shine, after opening the lid, Kampa, Vados, and Whis are greeted by surprised looks. The Shinran dumplings on the plate actually stood up on their own. Yes, this is the biggest feature of Shinran dumplings. It will stand up on its own. The principle is actually very simple because the power of hot air drives it to stand up. But it is easier said than done. Needless to say, the result is that if it were just ordinary dumplings, it would definitely not be as good as the steak. But the thing is, this is Shinran dumplings, and neither the dumpling wrappers nor the dumpling fillings are ordinary ingredients. So needless to say, Imbai still won the second dish. Of course, this time, Subai and Whis gave Kampa's cuisine a higher score. At least this steak is definitely more delicious than the previous eggs. The third dish prepared by Kampa was a deep-fried dish made of unknown ingredients. And it's also wrapped with a layer of stuff on the outside, kind of like tempura. As for Subai's third dish, it finally has nothing to do with frying. It's the dish that Xiao uses to obtain the qualification of a special chef, catfish noodles. Needless to say, this is the dish that the young master used to obtain the qualification of a special chef. Although it is not as fancy as the previous two dishes, it still shines and can stand up on its own. But in terms of taste, it is far superior to the previous two dishes. So not surprisingly, Subai won again. In fact, after winning the previous two victories, there was no need to compete in this third dish. But Kampa, Vados, and even Whis are looking forward to the third dish prepared by Subai. So we still had a third dish competition. Subai won all three dishes in the competition with perfect scores. Even Kampa, albeit reluctantly, had to give full marks. No way, these three dishes cooked by Subai are really impeccable. But the food in your sixth universe is also pretty good. Except for the first dish, the remaining two dishes are pretty good. Except for the eggs in the first dish, the remaining two dishes in the sixth universe, although still ordinary, are very common on the Earth. But at least, it's much better than the eggs in the 10th dish. Moreover, the ingredients used are also ingredients that are not found on Earth, and the taste is slightly different from steaks and tempura on Earth. It is indeed not easy to find such food in the 6th universe where food is poor. Of course, the food is much inferior to that of 7th universe. Moreover, even if the 6th universe also has delicacies on Earth, Subai is not afraid. After all, the dishes he cooks are delicacies that are not found on Earth. This is a dish made by a young master, and he was still the little boss in the early days. He hasn't brought out the dishes like the map of the real sea bream continent, the comet fried rice, or the phoenix crystal at the back yet. Of course, Xiao did not upload these dishes. After all, even the young master himself has not made these dishes yet. Anyway, this is the first round of food competition. Subai won a crushing victory. Of course, Subai didn't feel any joy about the victory. After all, this is a matter of course to him. What's there to be happy about? Subai, don't be too happy too early. This is just the first round of competition. In the second round of competition, my 6th universe will definitely win. After losing the first round of the food competition, Kampa was very unhappy. But I didn't give up because there was still a second round of competition. A battle between two strong men of the universe. The delicacies of his 6th universe are indeed not as good as the delicacies of the 7th universe. And they are also delicacies made by Subai, the god of destruction. But when it comes to competitions between strong men, the strong men in his 6th universe will definitely not lose. Forget it about other players. But you must know that among the players he brought over this time, there was the strongest killer in their 6th universe, Hit. With Hit's strength, the players from his 7th universe will definitely not be his match. As long as this second round of competition is won, then he is not considered a loser. At most, it was a little different from what I expected. I couldn't beat Subai completely, but just tied with Subai. As for what to do if there's a tie, Cabj, Pa's already thought about this. If he and Subai each won a victory in the 2 rounds of competition, then let's play an extra game. And the competition in this extra round is the competition between gods of destruction. Kampa has always felt that the reason why he lost to Subai before was because Subai did not follow martial ethics, and because he underestimated the enemy too much. As long as he doesn't underestimate the enemy, Subai will never be his opponent. Kampa has already thought about what will happen next. He really thought it through, but he forgot to consider another possibility. That is, what if their 6th universe loses again in the second round of the strong competition? Perhaps it was not that he forgot to consider it, but that he simply did not think that their 6th universe would lose another round of competition. Faced with Kampa's belief, Subai didn't care. Even his attention was not on Kampa, because at this time, he was sharing the recipe he used to win in the group. Subai, I told you before that I will compete with that fat purple cat again. Subai, we will have 2 rounds of competitions. The first round is food. Subai, I just won the food competition, and this is the food I used to win. Picture, picture, picture. Although the food has been eaten by Compa and Vados. But before they ate, he had already taken pictures. If you don't poison other group members when it comes to delicious food, half the fun will be lost. Subai now knows why so many people like to take things seriously in the past, especially if you do it late at night. It is indeed very interesting. Little Boss, golden egg fried rice, Shinran dumplings, and catfish noodles. Aren't these all the dishes I uploaded? Master Group Leader, you bought all the dishes I uploaded. Subai, well, in terms of cooking, you can be said to be the well-deserved number one. Alu, yes, I also bought these dishes uploaded by the Little Master. Alu, although the world I live in is also a gourmet world, in terms of cooking, it is still not as good as the world where the Little Master lives. Butterfly Ninja. This is even more tempting than the delicacies Brother Subai shared before. Diya. Indeed, the delicacies shared by Brother Subai before are incomparable to the delicacies shared now. They are not even on the same level. Although I only saw the photos, the group members knew it very well. The food shared by the group leader this time is completely different from the food shared before. In terms of quality, it is completely different. One is of ordinary quality, and the other is of at least rare quality. Subai, that's for sure. The dishes I shared before are just some random dishes I made with my god-level cooking skills. Even the ingredients are ordinary. Subai, but these three for the food, I used my god-level cooking skills combined with ingredient from the Alu world and the dishes of the Little Master. Of course, it's not on the same level. Xiao Longnu, Broter Subai, can you feed me some more? Subai, Xiao Longnu, I didn't see it before. It turns out you were a snack food. It was Xiao Longnu who wanted to be fed before, but this time it was her. There's no explanation in the original work, but now it seems that Xiao Longnu has the attribute of being a foodie. But yes, generally speaking, big beauties in Japan have the attributes of foodies. Subai, not yet. I still have a second round of competition. Subai, if you want to eat, you can find a chef. He happens to have mastered god-level cooking skills, and he also invented these dishes. Subai, you can let him cook the food and give you red envelopes. Little Boss, no problem, brothers and sisters. Do you want me to cook some food? Garp, then I'll trouble the Little Master. Oga Tatsumi, I didn't expect to be able to taste delicious food again. During this time, that guy Saluda has been trying to make me eat the dark food she made. I almost vomited. I need to improve it. Meals, Lu Paiqiang, me too. During this period, I've been busy with the planetary engine and the lunar engine. I've been so busy that I have no time to eat. Lu Paiqiang, it's just a good time to take a break and taste some delicious food. Guojing, at Lu Paiqiang, how is the situation over there? You said before that you would take the Earth to wander. How are you preparing for it? Lu Paiqiang, it's almost done. The manufacturing of the 10,000-seat planetary engine has come to an end and will be ready for use soon. Lu Paiqiang, the 3 lunar engines have been manufactured. As long as the test is successful, the moon can be moved away from the Earth, and then the Earth can be set off. Subai, at Lu Paiqiang, when testing the lunar engine, be careful of a person named Tu Hongyu. Subai, he will use the 550W without permission, causing a lunar engine to be scrapped, causing the moon to fail to leave, or even deorbit. Lu Paiqiang, thank you, group leader, for informing me. I will make people careful. Subai, okay, just wait for the little boss to feed you. I'm going to have the second round of competition. Diya, Brother Subai, come on. You will definitely win the second round of competition. Butterfly Ninja, yes, Brother Subai is so strong. He will definitely win. Xiao Longnu, Brother Subai, we are waiting for news of your victory. Subai, thank you for your kind words, but it's not a competition between me, but a competition between my strong men and the opponent's strong men. Subai, but I just have confidence in the strong men under me. Garp, in short, the group leader will definitely win. The group members have blind confidence in Subai. They never thought about whether Subai would lose. Even if it is a competition between his men, he will not lose. After all, can the group leader's subordinates do that? Chapter 70. Hypocrites are more disgusting than real villains. Subai, this second round of the strong competition will follow the rules we agreed on before. This is the referee. Kampa pointed to a figure on the ring and said to Subai. He brought the referee, and the referee was fair and impartial, so that Subai would not cheat when the seventh universe lost. Subai glanced at the referee on the ring and nodded. Although this referee has only appeared in fighting conferences, he is still quite impressive, because this referee is really very fair and impartial. I will not favor players from the sixth universe, just because I am from the sixth universe. As a referee, he is undoubtedly very conscientious. The second round of competition took the form of defending and attacking. Both sides must first send a player each, and the winning player can continue to stay on the stage to compete. The losing side will send new players to fight, until all players on one side lose. Because the rule is that no more than 5 players can be brought. Kampa directly filled the number of players and brought the 5 players with the highest number. After seeing that Subai only brought 4 players, he felt even more confident about winning. Is it possible that Subai still wants to use 4 players to deal with the 5 players in his 6th universe? And among these 5 players, there is Hit. Subai only brought 4 players here. Are there no strong players in the 7th universe? If it weren't for the fact that I can only bring up to 5 players, I could bring more players here. Kampa looked at Subai and mocked. In his opinion, he brought 5 players because it was stipulated that he could only bring 5 players at most. Subai brings 4 players because only these 4 strong players in the 7th universe can do it. Isn't it already obvious which one is strong and which one is weak? Could it be that Subai thinks that he can win as long as he brings 4 players here? How is this possible? It must be because there are only 4 strong people in the 7th universe who can get out of town. This second round of competition will definitely be the victory of the 6th universe. Even before the competition started, Kampa had already started popping the champagne. Ah, yes. What else can Subai say to Kampa's taunt? Let him taunt him for now. Anyway, you will know why he only brought 4 players here. To be honest, if he had known the 6th universe's lineup in advance, he would have even wanted to bring only 2 people over, Broly and Son Gohan. He didn't even want to bring Son Goku and Vegeta over. The reason is also very simple, because there are Caulifla and Gabe in the lineup of the 6th universe. You must know how Vegeta became a super subhuman in the original work. Son Goku, on the other hand, taught Caulifla how to become Super 2. This is definitely an act of capitalizing on the enemy, especially Caulifla. Subai had a very bad impression of Caulifla when watching anime. The other party is completely a female brat. Her character is the kind of character that Subai hates. So while watching the anime, he criticized Son Goku for teaching him how to transform into a Super Second. And now, he will naturally not let Son Goku fight Caulifla. What if Son Goku teaches Caulifla how to become Super Saiyan like in the original work? Although Caulifla will not be Son Goku's opponent, even if she becomes Super Saiyan. But why teach each other? As for Gabe, Subai had a pretty good impression of him. He is sensible, polite, and kind-hearted. However, the other party is from the 6th universe after all. Let's not talk about what happens in private. But when you are an opponent, you should not let the opponent become more sophisticated. So, if Subai had known earlier, the lineup of 6th universe would have changed. Then he wouldn't have brought Son Goku and Vegeta over. Just let Son Gohan and Broly come on. With Son Gohan's strength, it won't be a problem to win over anyone except Hit. Let Broly deal with the remaining Hit. With 2 people, it would not be a problem to deal with the 5 players from Universe 6. In fact, even Broly alone can defeat the 6th universe 1 against 5. As the second round of competition officially began, Subai and Kampa each sent their first player to the stage. The first player Kampa sent out was Frost. The first player Subai sent out was Vegeta. If we say that the first player Kampa photographed was Gabe, then he definitely won't let Vegeta go. But since the opponent sent out Frost first, Vegeta can play. With how much Vegeta hates Frieza, he won't show mercy to Frost. Who makes the 2 of them look so similar? Frieza and Frost are almost like carbon copies of each other. Vegeta, I know you hate Frieza. Now, I will give you this opportunity to take revenge. Although the opponent is not Frieza, he looks a lot like Frieza. You can beat him up to vent your anger. Subai said to Vegeta. Thank you, Master Subai. Vegeta looked at Frost on the ring and sneered. The other party's face is very similar to Frisia's, which is really infuriating. If you can beat the opponent with your own hands, that would be the best thing. It's a pity that the rules do not allow killing the opponent. Otherwise, Frost would not be able to walk out of the ring alive today. By the way, pay attention to the other person, especially the other person's right hand. There may be hidden weapons or something like that. In the original work, Frost relied on the poison needle hidden in his right hand to eliminate Son Goku and Piccolo one after another. He didn't want Vegeta to fall for it. Although the other party can be exposed later, it is better to warn Vegeta in advance. Hidden weapon? He is indeed a guy who looks a lot like Frieza. This despicable method is really similar. Vegeta came to the ring, and on the other side, Frost also came to the ring. Just like in the original work, Frost said from the beginning that this battle was not his intention and that he would be merciful when he takes action later. Tell Vegeta not to argue with him. People who don't know Frost would really think that Frost is a really kind-hearted and good man, such as Gabe. He was very moved after hearing Frost's words and felt that Frost was so kind. I take back what I just said. Looking at Frost, Vegeta said coldly, with a very disgusted expression, "Oh, what are you talking about? Did you say anything just now?" "I didn't say it to you. I want to take back what I just said to Mr. Subai. You're not as mean as Frieza. You are more disgusting than him." Because Frost looked a lot like Frieza, Vegeta hates Frost very much. But now he found that he was wrong. Frost is even more disgusting than Frieza. At least, Frieza never hides that he's a big bad guy and is openly bad. But this Frost is a very hypocritical guy. Vegeta didn't believe a word of what he just said. Just because he looks so much like Frieza, he's almost like Frieza from the 6th universe. He will never believe that the other party is a good person. Although people should not be judged by their appearance, someone who looks very similar to the bad guy is not necessarily the bad guy. But you know, the big bad guy is Frieza. Anyone who looks a lot like Frieza is definitely a bad guy. And this Frost is even more hypocritical than Frieza. At least Frieza never said that he was a good person, nor did he pretend to be a good person. If Frieza is a real villain, then Frost is a hypocrite. And hypocrites are more disgusting than real villains. Oh, Mr. Vegeta, why are you saying that? Is there something about me that makes you hate me? After hearing what Vegeta said, Frost didn't seem angry at all and said with a smile. And Gabe, who was in the 6th universe's contestant seat, was also saying good things for Frost. For example, Frost is a very kind-hearted philanthropist in the 6th universe. He would provide a place to live at a low price to those who had no place to live. It has even won several universe peace prizes. In the 6th universe, it can be said that when he was in Ross, he was a well-known adult. So you're like this in the 6th universe. It seems that you are pretending to be the same. Everyone in the 6th universe has been deceived by you. Again, Vegeta didn't believe a word of what Gabe said. Not because Gabe was lying to him, but because Gabe himself was deceived by Frost. A guy who looks so much like Frieza is actually a great philanthropist, and a great philanthropist in the 6th universe. If those who knew Frieza in the 7th universe knew about it, they would definitely not believe it just like him. Wow, I didn't expect Frieza from the 6th universe to be such a good person. In the audience of 7th universe, Son Goku looked amazed. Oh right, except for this guy Kakarot. This guy has no brains and can be easily deceived. Of course, it can also be said that this is his stereotype. What if this Frost is really completely different from Frieza and is a good person? However, Master Subai reminded him to pay attention to the hidden weapon in Frost's right hand. Frost is a hypocritical guy if he can be hammered to death. If Frost was really a good man, would he hide a hidden weapon in his right hand? What was he trying to do with hiding the concealed weapon? Is this something a good person can do? Okay, I won't talk nonsense to you anymore. When I see your face, I want to beat you up. Vegeta was too lazy to talk nonsense with Frost. He rushed directly towards Frost, ready to give him a good beating. He won't let the opponent be eliminated so easily. His anger towards Frieza and his anger towards Frost, a hypocritical villain, must be vented. Frost has not transformed at this time, and Vegeta has not transformed either. But with Vegeta's current strength, it's completely easy to deal with Frost who doesn't transform. You don't have to play as hard as you did on Namek. Moreover, because he wanted to vent his anger, Vegeta didn't hold back at all. This leads to Ross couldn't react to Vegeta's speed at all. By the time he reacted, Vegeta had already knocked him out. Before it was over, Vegeta followed Frost again and beat him up. In Vegeta's heart, Frost has become a more annoying guy than Frieza. How could he be merciful if he took action? It seems that Uncle Vegeta really hates Frieza. That's why I was so ruthless when faced with Frost, who looks similar to Frieza. In the 7th Universe's contestant box, Son Gohan watched Vegeta beat Frost and said with emotion, even though he was still young at the time, the things that happened on Namek were still fresh in his memory, especially when Vegeta was beaten up and even killed by Frieza in front of him. Therefore, it is not surprising that Vegeta hates Frieza and also hates Frost, who looks very similar to Frieza. At this time, Subai recorded the scene of Vegeta beating Frost and then posted it to the group. Subai, at all members, everyone, although I know you can't do it, I still want you to see the fate of hypocritical people. Subai, you can't be hypocritical people. Garp, Lord Group Leader, don't worry, we are not hypocrites. Gua Jing, yes, and we will not become hypocritical people. The group members assured them and clicked on the video. Then they saw the scene where Vegeta beat Frost. Butterfly Ninja, I remember that the person who hit people was called Vegeta. He was the father who was kind and filial to his son. Diya, yes, that's him. But now he is not fighting his own son, but a strange-looking person. Diya, and he actually has the upper hand. Oga Tatsumi, it seems that this strange-looking guy is not very strong, and he was beaten up by Vegeta. Because the old group members saw the scene of Vegeta and Trunks being a loving father and a filial son. They saw how Vegeta could do nothing about his son. So in their impression, Vegeta is not very strong. Of course, they must be much stronger. But in the world of the group leader, compared with those stronger monsters, they are not that strong. Therefore, after seeing Vegeta beating Frost, they felt that Frost was weaker. Xiao Longnu. So the hypocritical person that Brother Subai mentioned is the person who is being beaten? Subai, well, this guy is unlucky because he looks very similar to a person that Vegeta hates very much. Subai, Vegeta already hated him very much, and this guy is also a very hypocritical person, which made Vegeta hate him even more. Subai told me about Frost. Chapter 71 Vegeta. I was on guard against you. Garp, this guy is really hypocritical. He actually pretends to be a good person. Garp, compared with him, those real villains don't seem so annoying. Lu Paiqiang. Indeed, for a true villain, at least others know that he is bad and can guard against him. Lu Paiqiang. But hypocrites are not easy to guard against. This is why Frost is more annoying than Frieza. Because Frieza is not hypocritical and never pretends to be a good person. He doesn't care at all what others think of him, and it doesn't matter if they think he is a devil. He will not use disguise to deceive others. So those who know Frieza know that he is a bad guy. But Frost was different. He pretended to be a good person and deceived most people in the 6th universe into thinking that he was a great philanthropist. They were all deceived by Frost. Both of them may be despicable and will use hidden weapons for sneak attacks and some despicable methods. But the difference is that Frieza is a big bad guy, and it is natural for him to use these methods. After knowing that he is a big bad guy, you should be wary of the methods he uses. You can't blame Frieza for using despicable means, right? If Frieza really succeeded with his despicable methods, then he should not blame Frieza, but should blame himself for being so careless. Just like in the original work, when Son Goku and Frieza fight again. Son Goku had already defeated Frieza, but he relaxed his vigilance and was successfully attacked by Frieza's men in the dark. Frieza's methods were despicable, but no one would think there was anything wrong with this. Instead, they all asked why Son Goku was so careless and let his guard down. Everyone already knew that Frieza was a big bad guy, but they were still unprepared and relaxed their vigilance in front of him, thus being attacked by surprise. Who else could he blame but himself? Frisia for being mean and shameless? But Frisia is a big bad guy. Isn't it normal to use some despicable methods? But Frost, that's different. He is a great benevolent person and a great philanthropist. So how can those who believe in him guard against him? Naturally, once he uses some despicable means, the success rate is very high. Moreover, even if he uses it, no one will doubt him. After all, how could such a kind person use such despicable means? Just like in the original work, Frost used the poisonous needle hidden in his right hand to eliminate Son Goku and Piccolo one after another, and no one doubted him. If it weren't for Galactic Patrolman Gak's good eyesight, he would have seen Frost's hidden weapon. Then he will defeat everyone with hidden weapons, and no one would doubt him. No one would doubt why Son Goku and Piccolo had the absolute upper hand. As a result, he suddenly fainted. So what kind of despicable means does a hypocritical person like Frost use? Not only would the success rate be very high, but no one would doubt him. This is where it gets disgusting. He obviously has the image of a good man, but secretly he uses such despicable and shameless methods. Many people were deceived, and many people were unaware of him. Therefore, this is why hypocrites are more disgusting than real people. You can guard against true villains, but you cannot guard against hypocrites. Unless you know that the other person is a hypocrite, it is easy to be deceived by the other person's appearance. Subai, so I don't want you to become hypocritical people. I would rather you become real villains. Subai, of course, none of you can do it. Subai is still very confident about the members in the group. These group members will neither become true villains nor hypocrites. Xiao Longnu, don't worry, brother Subai. We will never become such people. Guijing, well, we will never become such people. Others also promised that they would not become hypocrites or true villains. Subai, then I definitely believe you. After teaching the group members, Subai continued to watch the battle between Vegeta and Frost in the ring. Under Vegeta's attack, Frost was already scarred. However, Vegeta didn't just eliminate him, he even stopped. You still have time to transform. Hurry up and transform. Vegeta said coldly to Frost. Since the opponent is Frieza from the 6th universe, he should be able to transform like Frieza. When he was on Namek, he also said these words to Frieza, allowing Frieza to transform. As a result, he was beaten completely by the transformed Frieza. But not anymore. Even if Frost turns into his final form, he has absolute confidence in defeating the opponent. You don't even need to become a Super Sailor God. I don't want to transform because my power after transformation is too strong and I can't control it. That's why I once killed a criminal who shouldn't have been killed by mistake. Frost put on his good-natured look again. It's just that the way he looks makes Vegeta feel sick. If someone is killed by mistake, it must be intentional. If it were Frieza, she wouldn't pretend like this. He would definitely admit directly that he was the one who killed the person because the other person offended him or something like that. Frieza never hides herself. Later, Frost transformed and directly turned into his second form, which was the form that looked very similar to his physical form. This is what I will look like after I transform. You have to be careful. Even I can't control the power of this form. After the transformation, Frost was still there to remind Vegeta to be careful. I'm afraid it's not just that. You probably have a stronger transformation that you haven't taken yet. Looking at Frost after the transformation, Vegeta sneered. Since Frost can really transform, then he must have more than one transformation, just like Frieza. The current transformation is not his strongest transformation. How do you know? This time, Frost was really confused. Why does this Vegeta seem to know his appearance so well? Not only does he know that he can transform, but he also knows that he has more than one transformation. Because in our 7th universe, there's a guy very similar to you. I see. Then he must have made a lot of contributions to the 7th universe, just like me. He has indeed made a lot of contributions, and originally I hated him the most. But now I find that compared to you, he is at least bad and magnanimous. Frost didn't know why Vegeta was so malicious to him. Could it be that his disguise was seen through by the other party? But it shouldn't be. They met for the first time today, and even so many people in the 6th universe didn't see through his true face. How could a guy who just met see through it? I understand. Vegeta must hate Frieza from his universe, and he looks very similar to that Frieza. So this Vegeta also hates himself. But what about Frieza's bad magnanimity? Is it possible that the other party has really seen through his true face? Frost didn't understand, but he knew it was better not to let Vegeta continue talking. Just eliminate the opponent directly. Don't let the other party reveal your true colors when the time comes. Although no one may believe it, but it would not be good if a seed of doubt was planted in the hearts of people in the 6th universe. Since this Vegeta lets himself take out the final transformation, then take it out. Just in time, it's time for this battle to end. With this in mind, Frost continued to transform and became his final form, or it could also be said to be his initial form. Because whether it is Frieza or Frost, their final transformation is their original appearance. However, because their power is too strong and difficult to control, they become what most people know. Looking at Frost after the transformation, the anger in Vegeta's heart suddenly rose. Because Frieza turned into something similar and then killed him. Now that Frieza is dead, he didn't go to find him when he was in the underworld. Because Frieza is in hell, and he and Kakarot can keep their bodies and move around freely in the underworld, but they cannot go to hell. So he never had the chance to seek revenge from Frieza. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to vent one's anger on Frost, who is similar to Frieza. Moreover, Frost is even more disgusting than Frieza. You really have to be careful this time. My power is too strong now, and I will seriously injure you accidentally. The one who should be careful is you. Vegeta sneered at Frost, back on Namek. When he faced the finally transformed Frieza, it could be said that he had no power to fight back. Point zero. There was even fear in my heart. But now, facing Frost in his final form, he has anger and disdain in his heart, but no fear. Vegeta roared and turned into Super Saiyan. Back on Namek, Kakarot transformed into Super Saiyan and defeated Frieza. Now, let him use Super Saiyan to defeat Frost. What? Frost was surprised to see Vegeta transform into Super Saiyan. Will Saiyan also be able to transform? Of course, the most surprising ones are the 3 Saiyans of the 6th universe. They know that Vegeta is a Saiyan just like them. But they didn't expect that Vegeta, a Saiyan, could actually transform. When will Saiyan be able to transform? Why can Saiyan from Universe 7 transform? Caulifla was very confused, and she could feel that after Vegeta transformed, he was much stronger than before. Since the Saiyan of the 7th universe can transform, then the Saiyan of our 6th universe should also be able to transform. Then, Caulifla became excited again. She originally liked to pursue greater strength. Now, after seeing that Saiyan can actually transform, it seems like a door has opened in front of her. Since Saiyan from the 7th universe can transform, then the Saiyans of the 6th universe, can also transform. They're all Saiyans. There is no reason why the Saiyans of the 7th universe can transform, but the Saiyans of the 6th universe, cannot transform. But how to change body, this is also a problem. But Caulifla didn't panic. She didn't know how to transform, but didn't Saiyan from Universe 7 know? When the time comes, can she just ask them directly and let them teach her how to transform? Caulifla, a little girl with the attributes of a female imp, never thought about why Saiyan had to teach her after she asked her. In her mind, as long as she asked, the other party would definitely teach her. He didn't teach her this possibility. In the ring, after both sides completed their transformations, Vegeta and Frost continued to fight. Needless to say, the result was that Frost underwent the strongest transformation. But in front of Vegeta, who has also become a Super Saiyan, he is no match at all. Just how Son Goku beat Frieza, now Vegeta beats Frost. In fact, Frost is even worse than Frieza. After all, when Son Goku was fighting Frieza, in order to see Frieza's strongest strength, he was always letting off steam at the beginning. But Vegeta didn't know that. He opened fire as soon as he came up and beat Frost so hard that he couldn't fight back. Every time he beat Frost, he could vent some of the anger in his heart. Frost couldn't stand being beaten so badly by Vegeta. If this continues, he will lose. He doesn't want to lose. If he can defeat the players from the 7th universe, his reputation will be even higher when he returns to the sixth universe. Therefore, some means must be used. From a small hole in Frost's right wrist, a poisonous needle exposed its needle. Then, while resisting Vegeta's attack with difficulty, he waved his right fist and hit Vegeta. As long as he hits Vegeta with this punch, Vegeta will be stunned by the poisonous needle. And with the character he created, no one would doubt that he used any shady means. Perfect. Frost's idea was perfect, but at the next moment he was stunned. Because his punch did not hit Vegeta, Vegeta not only dodged his attack, but also grabbed his right forearm. How can this be? Generally speaking, Vegeta already has such a huge advantage, and he should not care about his own attacks. Why dodge? Shouldn't he not care about his own attacks and let his fists hit him? But why is Vegeta dodging? It's as if Vegeta already knew there was something wrong with his right hand. Frost was so confused that he had no idea why. But the next moment, Vegeta answered his doubts. I was on guard against you. Vegeta looked at Frost and said with a sneer. Chapter 72, so why should I teach you how to transform? Although he had been beating up Frost before. But Vegeta did not forget Su Bai's reminder to him before the competition started. Ask him to be careful with Frost's right hand, as there may be a hidden weapon hidden there. So after the competition started, he didn't have to worry about Frost's other attacks. But Frost's right-hand attack did not let the opponent hit him, and he was always paying attention to Frost's right hand. So this time, when Frost decided to use the poison needle hidden in his right hand, when the poisonous needle was exposed with Vegeta's eyesight, he saw it immediately. That's why he dodged Frost's right-hand attack and grabbed the opponent's forearm. He wants to expose his true face in front of the sixth universe. Of course, the purpose is not to save the deceived guys in the sixth universe. It's just that he wanted to take a breath. To think that someone as hypocritical as Frost could continue to do so. Vegeta felt sick all over. Even if Frost is not from the seventh universe, he still doesn't respond. From Vegeta's point of view, since he's a big bad guy, he should be more open-minded about his bad side. What's the point of pretending to be hypocritical? At least on this point, he still admired Frieza. And when he was cruel and ruthless, he didn't hide himself. He was not hypocritical at all. You said you were on guard against me? Can it be said that you already knew it? Hearing Vegeta's words, Frost's face was filled with disbelief. How is this possible? Why does Vegeta, a guy from the seventh universe, know about the hidden weapon in his right hand? It was obviously the first time they met. This is all thanks to the reminder from the gods of destruction in our seventh universe. He asked me to pay attention to your right hand. There may be a hidden weapon hidden in your right hand. So when the battle started, I was always on guard against you. Speaking of this, Vegeta couldn't help but be a little grateful to 20 Su Bai. If it weren't for Su Bai's reminder, he would really have taken it upon himself to beat Frost to vent his anger. If this happens, Frost will really succeed, and I will be defeated by his poisonous needle. If he failed like this, he couldn't accept it. The conversation between Vegeta and Frost left the people in the sixth universe very confused and didn't know what was going on. At this time, the referee came to the ring and walked in front of Vegeta and Frost. He came to ask about the situation, but when he came to them, then he saw the poisonous needle in Frost's right hand. Because he was too shocked, Frost didn't take back his hidden weapon and throw it away. So it was discovered by the referee. The referee touched Frost's poisonous needle very curiously. Then he felt dizzy and fell on the ring. Fortunately, he only touched it slightly, so the poisoning was not serious, and he woke up quickly. It also let him know what was going on. This is a poisonous needle. Player Frost violated the rules by using a hidden weapon during the competition. The referee loudly announced what had just happened. And this is something that the people of the sixth universe, especially Gabe, cannot accept. Because in his mind, Frost has always been a good person. But now, the other party actually uses hidden weapons, a despicable method that violates the rules. This is obviously inconsistent with his image as a kind man. Hey, Vados, what the hell is going on? Even Kampa was confused. He had heard about Frost. Isn't he a good person from the sixth universe? Why did he suddenly do things that are not in line with his image? Don't you know, Master Kampa? This is Frost's true face. Vados said, as the angel of the sixth universe, things in the sixth universe cannot escape her eyes. Naturally, she is very clear about Frost's true face. Later, Vados talked about Frost. For example, he appears to be a great philanthropist, buying up planets that were abandoned due to war, and then transforming them for other people to live in. But in fact, the wars that led to the abandonment of these planets were caused by Frost people, secretly letting his subordinates cause war and make those planets abandoned. Then, I buy it at a low price, renovate it, and sell it at a higher price. This is the new business model that Frost came up with. Seeing that his true identity was exposed, Frost stopped pretending. He was also very proud to talk about the new business model he came up with. What? It turns out that Frost is a big bad guy, just like Frieza. Seeing Frost's true face, Son Goku was a little sad. He originally truly believed that the other party was a good person. Unexpectedly, the other party actually deceived his feelings. As for Subai, she curled her lips. What's a new business model? In the world before he traveled through time, this business model had already been ruined. And this model is so boring. It's better to just follow Frieza's example. Let his men capture those planets, and then sell them to those who are looking for planets to live in. You can also save a lot of money to buy planets at a low price. More simple and crude. Because Frost violated the rules, it stands to reason that he was directly disqualified from the competition. But Vegeta didn't care. He allowed Frost to continue participating in the competition. If Frost were to be eliminated just like that, wouldn't it be too cheap for him? Since Vegeta didn't care about his opponent, the referee didn't say much and announced that the competition would continue. Because Frost's true identity has been exposed, Frost no longer pretends to be a fake and can attack Vegeta in various ways. But it has no effect. Vegeta still beat Frost without any pressure. After beating him to bruises, he flew out of the ring and eliminated him. If it weren't for the fact that the rules don't allow killing the opponent. Now Frost is turned into a corpse. Frost loses the competition, and Vegeta can continue to compete in the ring. On the sixth universe side, a new player needs to be sent to compete. The second player Compa sent out was Gabe. As the ace player of the sixth universe, Hit will definitely be the last one to play. As for the remaining 3 Scions, it doesn't matter who comes out first. Hey Shibe, go ask that Vegeta how to transform. Before Gabe appeared, Caulifla said to him. Originally, she had planned to ask herself, but since Gabe appeared first, if he could ask, he wouldn't need to ask. Looking at Caulifla and Baif and Tianchen, even if you ask yourself, others may not tell you. But Gabe also knew Caulifla, and the other party wouldn't listen to what he said. So he could only nod towards Caulifla. I'll try my best. After saying that, Gabe stepped onto the ring. Are you Scion from the 6th universe? Vegeta looked at Gabe and asked curiously. This is the first time he has seen Scion from other universes, so it is still quite novel. Well, you are Scion from the 7th universe. Hello, my name is Naigwa. Gabe greeted Vegeta very politely. Stop talking nonsense. Let's get started. Let me see the strength of the 6th universe Scion. Vegeta said to Gabe, wanting to see the strength of the 6th universe Scion. Good. Gabe nodded and then attacked Vegeta. In terms of strength, under normal circumstances, there is not much difference between Gabe's strength and Vegeta's. But the problem is, Vegeta is now in Super Saiyan state. So, is this the strength of the 7th universe Scion? Gabe said in surprise while enduring Vegeta's fierce attack. Although he knew that Vegeta must be very strong, but now experiencing it personally was still a different feeling than seeing it. Hey, why don't you transform? Vegeta stopped attacking and said to Gabe, if Gabe doesn't transform, is he looking down on him? But the problem is that the other party is no longer his opponent if he doesn't transform. Well, why do you have to look down on him? I won't transform. However, Gabe's answer surprised Vegeta. You can't transform? Vegeta was stunned. The Scion of the 6th universe wouldn't become a Super Saiyan, but soon he felt relieved. Right? This is normal. Super Saiyan, as the legendary super warrior of Saiyan, is not so easy to become. But I don't know what happened. so that the scions of their seventh universe could actually become super scions. He can do it, Kakarot can do it, Son Gohan can do it, and Trunks can do it too. It makes Super Saiyan worthless. Not only that, they even achieved Super Saiyan that surpassed Super Saiyan, and Super Saiyan that was even better. Now, they have mastered the transformation of gods. But the Scion of the sixth universe cannot even change into a Super Saiyan. This is the real situation. Scion from their seventh universe is just a little abnormal. So, please teach me, Mr. Vegeta. Gabe bowed to Vegeta very politely and begged Vegeta to teach him how to transform. In fact, not only Caulifla, but Gabby himself also wanted to transform. This represents a new beginning for them Scion. In the original work, when faced with Gabe's request, Vegeta didn't say anything, but he used practical actions to teach Gabe how to become a Super Saiyan. But now, why should I teach you? Vegeta didn't think about teaching Gabe how to become Super Saiyan, although he's indeed interested in Saiyan from Universe 6. But he still won't do this kind of behavior of siding with the enemy. At least not in combat. Subai was also a little surprised when he heard Vegeta's words. Originally, he planned to tell Vegeta to make a quick decision. But unexpectedly, Vegeta never thought of teaching Gabe how to transform. But after thinking about it, he understood. Vegeta in the original book has already experienced the androids, the android cell, Majin Buu, and the Golden Frieza. He has changed a lot. It's not the same Vegeta anymore. But Vegeta in the future is different. After he was killed by the android, he never experienced anything after that. Therefore, his change will naturally not be the same as Vegeta in the original work. It's understandable that he doesn't want to teach Gabe. Of course, although the future Vegeta does not change as much as he did in the main time and space. But there have been changes. At least, Vegeta is no longer the cruel and ruthless Vegeta before. Subai is very satisfied with this change. Why is Vegeta so popular 303? Isn't it because he has changed a lot? Even Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super is more popular than Son Goku. It would be great if Vegeta in the future could have the same changes as him in the main time and space. Of course, this is not impossible to happen. In the arena, hearing Vegeta's rhetorical question, Gabe was stunned. Indeed, why would the other party teach him how to transform? They are opponents, and the other party has absolutely no reason to do this. Since you can't transform, your strength is limited to this. Then this battle will be enough. Seeing that Gabe was stunned by his question, Vegeta didn't want to waste time. Without being able to transform, Gabe's strength was just like this. He ducked in front of Gabe and punched Gabe, sending him flying out of the ring. Aren't you also Scion? Why can't you transform? At the contestant table of Universe 6, Kampa is holding Caulifla and driving you. How do I know why Scion from their seventh universe transformed? And that guy Gabe didn't even ask him to teach him. It's really useless. You have to let me take action myself. Caulifla said, very unhappy. It was as if she had taken action herself and would definitely let Vegeta teach her. Are you sure you will be that Vegeta's opponent? After seeing Gabe being easily defeated, Kampa no longer planned to let Caulifla and Kel fight. After all, they're also Scion and cannot transform. Facing Vegeta, the ending is the same as Gabe's. It would be better to just let Hit, the ace, come on stage. I'm much stronger than Gabe. Caulifla said, regardless of Kampa's permission or not. She went directly to the ring. Hey, hurry up and teach me how to transform. As soon as she entered the ring, Caulifla said arrogantly to Vegeta. She was also used to being arrogant in the sixth universe, and she also had Zhang's strength. So when facing Vegeta, I just follow my habits. Seeing Caulifla being so arrogant, Vegeta felt very unhappy. Arrogant in front of him? What confidence does this female Scion have? She can't even transform. How strong can she be? Why should I teach you? After you teach me, I can use transformation to defeat you. So again, why should I teach you? Because if you teach me, you can make me stronger. Shout, a guy with a brain problem. He has more brain problems than that guy from Kakarot. Vegeta was sure that Caulifla really had a brain problem. Chapter 73. It's great that Brother Subai has us in his heart. Originally, in Vegeta's mind, The person with the worst brain was Kakarot, but now he found a guy with an even worse brain. It was Caulifla in front of me. Moreover, the other party not only has a brain problem, but also has an obsessed self-confidence. It was as if as long as she opened her mouth, he would definitely teach her how to transform. Since you think you are so amazing, why not study how to transform yourself? You must know that the Scions in their 7th universe all relied on their own strength to become Super Scions. Back then, this guy Kakarot was the first to become Super Scion. He also later transformed into Super Scion on his own. In the underworld, he also learned that Son Gohan also became Super Scion, also by himself. And his son Trunks couldn't transform before Son Gohan died. So he must have transformed on his own. They will want someone to teach them how to train. But they won't just let others teach them how to transform. And among the underworld, Son Gohan was the first to successfully transform into a Super 2. At that time, he and Kakarot did not ask Son Gohan to teach them. They also relied on themselves to successfully transform into Super 2 or even Super 3. But now, Scion of the 6th universe hopes that someone can teach them how to transform. This is really embarrassing to Scion. The key is, since he is asking them to teach them how to transform, they should be polite. The previous Gabe was very nice and polite. Although he didn't teach the other party, it was only temporary. If the other party asked him for advice in private, Vegeta felt that he would not refuse. At least, his impression of Gabe is still very good. But this Caulifla is different. There was no courtesy at all, and she even asked him to teach me in a commanding tone. Vegeta doesn't know what Caulifla is like in Universe 6. He doesn't care how arrogant the other party is in the 6th universe. But being arrogant in front of him depends on whether she has the strength. And Caulifla, who can't even transform, obviously doesn't have this strength. So Vegeta decided to teach this female Scion a lesson. Since he wanted to teach you how to transform so much, then let me first let you experience the power of Super Scion. With that said, Vegeta took action. Caulifla also quickly resisted. Caulifla is much stronger than Gabby. Under normal circumstances, it would not be easy for Vegeta to defeat her, even impossible. However, Vegeta is now transformed into Super Saiyan. For Saiyan, the difference between being able to transform is a huge one. Not just any Saiyan can be as good as the two passing Saiyans Broly and Kai. Even without transformation, he can defeat the person after transformation. At least, Caulifla is definitely not one of them. Therefore, Caulifla was completely powerless against Vegeta, who had transformed into a Super Saiyan. Although she tried her best to resist, she still couldn't stop Vegeta's attack and was beaten up by Vegeta. Seeing this scene, Subai was not surprised at all. You know, Vegeta didn't even teach Gabe. So how could he teach Caulifla? Moreover, with Vegeta's character, it is natural that he cannot stand Caulifla's character. If it were Son Goku and Son Gohan, they might still be able to tolerate Caulifla's little girl and BCH character. Especially Son Goku. He might actually teach him how to transform, but Vegeta won't coddle him. After recording a video again, Subai sent the video to the group. Subai, at Butterfly Neen, you three girls, please don't learn like the woman in the video. Little Dragon Girl, Sciensk, and Butterfly opened the video and saw the scene of Vegeta painful Kaiyefra. Plus their brother Subai said so. This made them very curious. What did this beaten girl do? Xiao Longnu. Brother Subai, what did this girl do? Why do you tell us not to learn from her? Butterfly Ninja. Yes, and Vegeta was so cruel to her. Did she do something disgusting? Like that Frost. Diya. Since Brother Subai won't let us learn from her, then she must have many shortcomings. Subai. Actually, her biggest shortcoming is her character. Subai. Her character is very girlish, and she also has the attributes of female brat. In order to prevent Xiao Longnu and the others from not knowing what Xiao Tai Mei and female it mean, Subai also explained these two words. Diya. So this Caulifla has such a personality, no wonder Brother Subai doesn't let us learn from her. Diya also became very disgusted with Caulifla. After all, this is the woman that even Subai's brother hates. And the other party's character is indeed very annoying. It was as if the world revolved around her. Arrogant and domineering, unruly and willful, contemptuous of others, and even crazy. In short, all kinds of bad adjectives can be used to describe girls. Xiao Longnu. Fortunately, I don't have such a personality, otherwise Brother Su-bai would hate me. Butterfly Ninja. Well, I don't have such a personality, otherwise the demon slayers wouldn't be able to stand me. Diya. This kind of character is really annoying. Anyway, I will never become like her. Caulifla's character is something that even Diya and others, who are girls, can't stand. No wonder Brother Su-bai asked them not to learn from her. Guojing. Lord Leader, if there are female imps, are there any male imps? Su-bai. The opposite of a female imp is a male imp. If you meet a boy with a similar personality to Caulifla, you can think of him as a male imp. Guojing. That's it. But fortunately, I haven't met such a person yet. Oga Tatsumi. Such a female brat has never experienced severe beatings from society. Let Vegeta give her a good beating, and she should be better off. Liu Paiqiang. This is not necessarily the case. Some people will never change. Alu. I suddenly feel that that guy Zebra is a bit of a brat. Su-bai. Zebra does mean a bit like that, but he is more like Vegeta. Aru. Lord Leader, what does this mean? Su-bai. Tsundere. Aru. Sundara. Aru thought for a while and found that Zebra's character was really as arrogant as the group leader said. Xiong Xiaodong has a little bit of Zebra's character. Sundara is the most important thing. Su-bai. In short, you just don't want to learn from people with this kind of personality. Su-bai. But I believe you won't. Diya. Well, Brother Su-bai, don't worry. We will definitely not do it. Butterfly Ninja. That's right, Brother Su-bai, don't worry. Xiao Longnu. Hey, Brother Su-bai really cares about us, and he is worried that we will become people he hates. Diya, Butterfly Ninja, and Xiao Longnu are very sweet in their hearts. Brother Su-bai specifically told them about this matter. What does this mean? This shows that they still have status in Brother Su-bai's heart. If they're just insignificant people, then Brother Bai will definitely not care what they become. No matter what, they definitely have a place in Brother Su-bai's heart. And the location is not low. Very nice. Su-bai didn't know what these three little girls were thinking. He just thought of this matter and then used Caulifla as a teaching material to teach them not to become ABCs. As a group leader, in addition to helping group members become stronger in terms of strength, we also need to help them avoid going astray in terms of character. In the ring, Caulifla was already covered in scars after being beaten hard by Vegeta. Of course, her injuries were not as serious as Frost's. After all, to Vegeta, although Caulifla is also annoying, she is not as annoying as Frost. Therefore, there is no need to be too heavy-handed. As a Scion, if you can't bear even this little injury, that would be too embarrassing for Scion. At the 6th Universe contestant table, both Gabe and Compa knew that this battle would definitely be Vegeta's victory again. They didn't have any problem with Caulifla being beaten up by Vegeta. However, Kair watched her dear sister being beaten up, and her originally submissive character changed a lot. It was this little change that caught Hit's attention. Originally, Hit's attention had always been on Broly. But just now, he suddenly felt a terrible aura coming from his side. This terrifying aura made him feel a little palpitated. Hit looked at Kel and found that her eyes were fixed on Vegeta on the ring, with a somewhat angry expression. It seems that she is not simple either. Hit didn't expect that their 6th universe would actually hide such a strong man. This little girl usually looks submissive, as if she has no fighting ability at all. But if the other party really breaks out, it will definitely be a very scary thing. And the factor that can make the opponent explode seems to be Caulifla. Shaking his head, Hit continued to pay attention to Broly opposite. Even if Kair is not simple, he is still a member of their 6th universe, and he is a teammate, not an enemy. And Broly on the opposite side is likely to become his opponent. It's just that Hit has been observing for so long and feels that Broly is definitely not simple. He hasn't noticed yet what's not simple about it. But he had a feeling that Broly across from him and Kel beside him might belong to the same kind of person. Is this the strength of Scion after his transformation? He is indeed strong enough. Hey, are you really not going to teach me? Let me feel my strength after transformation. In the arena, although Caulifla was being beaten all the time, she still didn't give up and let Vegeta teach her how to transform. Vegeta didn't answer her verbally, but answered with actual actions. Wait until he has almost vented his dissatisfaction with Caulifla. He kicked Caulifla away and eliminated her. Elder sister, seeing Caulifla being eliminated, Kyer quickly came to her side to check on Caulifla's condition. Seeing Caulifla, who had suffered a lot of injuries, Kyer felt very distressed. The anger towards Vegeta is getting stronger and stronger. Guy, I'm Fine, but I didn't let that Vegeta teach me how to transform. Otherwise, we can also realize how powerful Sion is after his transformation. Caulifla said with great pity. She couldn't figure it out. Why didn't Vegeta teach her? You must know that in the 6th universe, among Sion, her words are like an edict, and there is no Sion who does not listen. But why doesn't it work in front of Sion from the 7th universe? Kyle, why don't you come up? Since words won't work, then use your strength to let him teach you how to transform. I believe in you. As long as you can show your strength, you will definitely not lose to that Vegeta. Caulifla understood Kyer, although the opponent was usually submissive and seemed weak and incapable of fighting. But the opponent is actually very powerful, even more powerful than her. It's just that she doesn't usually use this power. She didn't even know that she had such a powerful force. Normally, nice, Caulifla tries not to let Kel use her powerful power, because once Kyer uses this power, even she can't control herself. He's gotten into trouble before, but this time is different. On the one hand, their 6th universe Scion is no match for their 7th universe Scion, which is a bit too embarrassing. It's up to Kyer to regain their reputation as the 6th universe Scion. On the other hand, since Vegeta is unwilling to teach her how to transform, then let Kel beat him up. Let him know that Scion of the 6th universe is very powerful even if he doesn't transform. After Kel beats Vegeta up, it will be much easier for him to teach them how to transform. As for whether Kel can give Vegeta a good beating, Caulifla was relieved about this. Although Vegeta can transform and is very powerful. But as long as Kyer uses her powerful power, even Vegeta, after transformation, will not be her opponent. Sweet Lifla can guarantee this. Elder sister, Kyer looked at Caulifla and was very moved when he saw that she trusted him so much. At the same time, looking at the injuries on her sister's body, her inner anger towards Vegeta became more and more intense. Caulifla was brought back to the contestants' table by Gabe, while Kyle stepped onto the ring. I saw that my opponent this time was a little girl who looked obedient, not even as good as Gabe before. Vegeta once again showed off his wandering nature. Is there really no strong person in the 6th universe? They even sent a little girl like you. When Vegeta showed off his rogue character, what follows is his underestimation of Kyer. He didn't think that such a little girl who looked submissive and could be knocked down with one punch would be so powerful. Chapter 74. Scion Kyer. Gohan, over to you. Vegeta, put away your promiscuous and underestimating personality. Your opponent this time is not ordinary. Let me resolve the battle as quickly as possible. Seeing that Vegeta underestimated Kyer, he started to become romantic again. Subai also shouted at him. Others don't know, but he is very aware of Kyer's terror. If Frost is the Frisia of the 6th universe, that Kel is Broly from the 6th universe. As the legendary Scion of the 6th universe, it goes without saying that Kyer's strength is great. She is usually a submissive little girl who is afraid of fighting and has little fighting ability. But once she fell into a rage, she entered the super form. There are really not many people who can stop her. At least the current Vegeta doesn't have this strength. And the key is that Kyer has now stepped into the super pass mode. If Kale played before Caulifla, then Vegeta would be underestimating his opponent. Even if Kyer is beaten up, it will not be easy for him to enter the passing mode. But her only opponent is Caulifla. Once Caulifla is hurt, or sees that Caulifla has a good relationship with other people, she becomes angry or jealous. Kyer will break out and enter the passing mode. Caulifla was beaten so badly by Vegeta just now. Kyer is already angry with Vegeta in his heart and will enter the super state at any time. Therefore, the best way is to defeat her quickly before she enters. In this way, even if she enters the super form later, the battle is over and she can't take action. But then again, Subai remembered that when he was watching anime before, he always felt that something was not right between Caulifla and Kel. I always feel that they look great in orange style. He even wanted to say something, Caulifla saying, Kel saying, the lilies in his hometown are blooming. In the ring, Vegeta also heard Subai's words, although he didn't know why Subai wanted him to make a quick decision. But after what happened with Frost, he still trusted Subai. So I stopped talking nonsense and decided to defeat Kaier as quickly as possible. However, when Vegeta attacked Kel, he felt something was wrong. He actually felt that a violent aura was rising on Kaier. Moreover, the way Kaier looked at him became increasingly angry. Vegeta also understood why Subai asked for a quick victory. If 393 continues, I don't know what will happen to this Kel. Vegeta punched mercilessly, not worried that his punch would kill Kel. At least judging from Kaier's current situation, this punch cannot kill the opponent. However, Vegeta still underestimated Kel. When his punch landed on Kair, Vegeta only felt that his punch had hit a piece of metal that was extremely hard and could not be destroyed. It can't be beaten at all. Looking again, Kaier in front of him had begun to change. You, how dare you bully your sister? 21. I want to avenge my sister. As Kaier spoke, the violent aura on her body became stronger and stronger. And as this violent aura intensified, Kaier's appearance also changed dramatically. Originally, she was thin and short, but now her figure has gradually become taller and bullier, and her black hair has begun to turn green. Seeing this scene, Vegeta was stunned, Son Goku was stunned, and Broly was stunned, because the appearance after Kayleigh's transformation is not unfamiliar to them. Broly, she looks just like you. In the 7th Universe's contestant box, Son Goku said to Broly beside him in surprise. During training before, Broly and Son Goku were trained separately. But when they have free time, Son Goku and others will also watch Broly's training process out of curiosity. Therefore, Son Goku and the others have also seen what Broly looks like after transforming into teleportation mode. We also know how powerful Broly is when he transforms into his super form. At that time, Son Goku and others were surprised that there was such a scion. Vegeta couldn't accept it even more. In addition to Kakarot and his son Gohan, there was actually a scion who surpassed him. He, the Prince of Scion, was only ranked 3rd. And now, Kel's change is exactly the same as Broly's change before. In other words, this Kel is the same type of scion as Broly. At this time, Vegeta had also understood, and his face became very ugly. He kept attacking Kaier and wanted to eliminate her. Even directly transformed into a super blue. Kaif, Vegeta has seen Broly's strength after becoming a super blue. At that time, the Kakarot guy was curious, so he had a fight with Broly. As a result, Broly pushed him to the ground and rubbed him. You know, at that time, Broly couldn't even transform into a Super Saiyan. It's just that he went through an unknown transformation, and his strength increased so horribly. And what's even more terrifying is that Broly can actually turn into Super Saiyan on that basis. Although the Kai before him will not transform into Super Saiyan. However, once she transforms into the same form as Broly, it will become very difficult to deal with. Although Vegeta is confident in his own strength, he also knows that in front of Broly, as long as Broly transforms into the super form, his fate will be the same as that guy Kakarot. Even if Kaier's strength is not as strong as Broly's, even if it's just a little weaker, it's not something he can handle. Therefore, Vegeta finally stopped wasting his time and used all his strength to eliminate Kaier directly. It's a pity that Vegeta finally stopped wandering, but it was a little too late for him to stop wandering. If he directly turns into Super Blue and attacks Kaier as soon as he comes up, then it might be possible to eliminate Kaier before she transforms. But now it's too late. Even though Vegeta turned Super Blue, his attacks still didn't impress Kaier. At this time, Kaier has completed his transformation. At this time, the pupils of her eyes had disappeared, leaving only the whites of her eyes. The violent aura on his body has also reached its peak. She was originally shorter than Vegeta, but now she is much taller than Vegeta. You can even lower your head and look down at Vegeta. Kel lowered her head and looked at Vegeta, who was attacking her, grabbed his head, and lifted him up. Although Kel has lost her mind now, she still regards Vegeta as her first target. Kair lifted Vegeta and then smashed it to the ground. Boom! A huge noise appeared, and dust flew up in front of Kair. When the dust dispersed, everyone saw what was going on. Vegeta was smashed to the ground, and there was a big pit under him. Judging from a sound just made, Vegeta was hit hard this time. Moreover, you can tell by looking at Vegeta's appearance at this time. At this time, Vegeta's expression was painful, especially since Kyle's big hand was still holding his head and still holding it tightly. This made Vegeta's expression even more painful. Vegeta felt like his head was going to explode. In order to get out of the current predicament, Vegeta continued to use energy attacks on Kair. Energy light balls kept falling on Kair, triggering explosions. Prince's tactics. One of Vegeta's best moves is to use a lot of energy attacks to attack the opponent in one go. But the problem is, this move is fierce, but when Vegeta uses this move to deal with his opponent, basically it has no effect. Although Kair's whole body was shrouded in thick smoke at this time. But one of the theorems of the Dragon Ball world. Smoke does no harm theorem. As the smoke dissipated, Kel appeared unscathed, as if Vegeta's attack just now was tickling her. Then, Kel lifted Vegeta up again and smashed it to the ground. Then, she pushed Vegeta to the ground and pushed forward. Vegeta began to rub against the ring, and a friction mark appeared under his body, forming a long mark on the ring. How abominable! Vegeta had never been treated like this. Even when he was fighting Frieza and the android, the other party didn't push him to the ground and rub him like this. The Kair in front of him was the first guy to bring him such shame. He will never let her go easily. Vegeta spread his hands, and a majestic energy condensed in his hands. At this time, Kair was walking towards Vegeta step by step. She has an extremely violent aura, coupled with her tall and strong King Kong Barbie figure. It can be said to be quite oppressive. Final flash. Vegeta yelled and put his hands together in front of him, assuming an alternative Kamehameha pose. The next moment, the condensed energy turned into a majestic energy beam and flew towards Kair. This is Vegeta's most powerful move, the Final Flash. Because he lost his mind, Kair didn't know how to dodge and let Vegeta's Final Flash fall on him. But before Vegeta could be happy, he was shocked to see Kair continue to walk towards him despite his own attack. Vegeta continued to output energy, trying to knock Kel away. But Kair's steps were still steady, and he came to Vegeta step by step. Then, Kyle continued to grab Vegeta's head with one hand and lift him up. The other hand condensed a green energy ball. Kair threw Vegeta out, and the condensed energy light ball was also thrown out by her, and the two collided in the air. This time, the theorem that smoke causes no harm did not appear. Vegeta was attacked by Kair and was directly injured and fell outside the ring. Logically speaking, Vegeta has lost now, and you can't continue. But Kel has lost her mind now. She only knows to kill Vegeta, so she won't stop until she completes her goal. Hey, we've already won. Why hasn't she stopped yet? Seeing that Kair was about to continue taking action, Kampa asked Gabe and Caulifla in confusion. Kair, who was originally not optimistic, was able to burst out with such a powerful force and defeat Vegeta, which really surprised him. But it seems that something is very wrong with this Kel now. They have already won, and they still plan to attack Vegeta. Although there is no rule saying that you cannot continue to attack an opponent who has fallen off the ring. But Kampa is worried that if Kair continues to attack, what if Vegeta is killed? The game that was already won will be lost because of killing the opponent and being disqualified. The key is that they in 6th universe will not take the matter seriously. When Subai makes a fuss, he won't know how to cheat. Mainly because he didn't know what happened to Kair. Why do you look like you can't control yourself? Master Kampa. Once Kel becomes like this, she will lose her mind. She can't recover until she makes a big fuss. Gabe explained quickly. He had seen Kair like this before. At that time, Kair had caused a lot of damage before recovering. Hey, after this Vegeta was beaten up by Kair, I don't believe he dares not to teach me how to transform. Caulifla on the side was very happy. Vegeta was beaten so badly, so when she asked him how to transform, she didn't believe he dared not teach him. And that blue transformation is stronger than the previous golden transformation at first glance. Unexpectedly, Scion from the 7th universe has mastered more than one transformation. Hey, Vados, let her recover for me. Don't really kill that Vegeta then. After hearing Gabe's words, Compa said to Vados beside him. Normally, he wouldn't care whether Vegeta died or not. But now, if Kel really kills Vegeta, she will be disqualified from the competition. Such a powerful combat force would be disqualified because of such a thing. That would be a bit of a pity. With her here, maybe Hit wouldn't even need to play. Master Compa, Master Subai has sent people to stop it. Vados pointed to the 7th universe player's seat. In the 7th universe's contestant box, seeing Kair still want
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.